clinic. This is a year of a great deal of excitement and enthusiasm within our football program. We have a very fine football team returning, and we think that there are some good things to be happening in the Bison football program. Our offensive philosophy will remain the same in 1988 as it has been in a long time here. Again, we will emphasize the fundamentals, the things that are important to our program. We want our players to be very sound with their techniques, and consequently we need to have a system that is relatively simple, will allow our players to understand what they're doing, and then figuring out how they're going to make those assignments become effective within the various schemes that we'll see defensively. Our schemes are very series-oriented, as you'll see in a moment here, and we have somewhat of a multiple design within that simplistic system. That multiple design is in where we'll run various formations, but primarily out of a twin set, or I should say a veer back set, where we have two backs in the backfield all working in one particular way. Our philosophy centers upon option football. The reason that we believe that option football is the basis for a sound offensive scheme here at North Dakota State is it primarily does some good things to a defensive ball club. Number one, it forces a team to defend the entire field. That means they must defend the width and the depth of the field. Now, the reason we believe that we force them to defend the width and the depth of the field is because the width with the pitch play is something that, if that's not taken care of, that's a very large play for us in our offensive scheme. The depth of the field must be defended because of our play-action pass series and things that will make us very solid in attacking the depth and keeping the secondary from becoming overly active in supporting the run situation. Now, this can be twisted to being an asset for our offensive football team and our defensive football team in a lot of ways. Defensively, it forces our defense to be sound across the board all of the time against our particular scheme. Forces people to play us that way on Saturday afternoon as well. And if we have that sound defense, it's going to only enhance what we have to offer on the defensive side of things. Another primary reason for this option emphasis is because option football teams are unique. They tend to be very disciplined football teams, teams that are patient and willing to take the 5-yard gain, or anything that will present a positive gain is very important to the option attack. Tends to be very low-risk types of offense. Another area that we feel very strongly about is it slows the pursuit of the defense. If we can control the pursuit of the defense, we won't get a lot of people flying around and overlapping on their defensive scheme. And that's very important to us. We have ways that we are going to try to exploit that over-aggressive pursuing type of defense. We also believe in our offense that we have a much better opportunity to recruit the type of people that we feel will be effective within that option attack. Quarterbacks are solid and great athletes. They have the ability to be able to lead the football team, but yet they don't have to be super outstanding in throwing the football. They have to have good intelligence and make sound decisions at the line of scrimmage. Receivers are very recruitable for us, primarily because they don't have to be tall, they don't have to be big, they don't have to have great speed. They need to have a solid understanding of their role and their place within our football program. They do an awful lot of blocking, yet they have a very important role in the pass receiving category as well. In the recruiting of our offensive line, this geographic region of the United States has an awful lot of big people. Consequently, that geographic location lends to our particular type of offense and has allowed us to develop some great size within our offensive line. There's an awful lot of running backs that have the good size, the good speed, and that's something that's very important to us. We need good running backs that have the capability of being a pitch back as well as a dive back. You might say that we're a two fullback system because that dive back can be on either side of the ball depending upon what we've got called. We are totally committed to the option attack, and the reason we're totally committed to the option attack is we've been able to move the football relatively well, and the reasons that I've listed for you are very important in our abilities to move that football. We also believe very strongly in it because we have a commitment to excellence here at North Dakota State. And excellence is something that happens when high ideals meet with intense pragmatism. Now what that basically means is that we have people that are willing to do what is necessary for us to get the job done. They understand what their assignment is, and they're able to come off the ball and make things happen for us. Part of our offensive philosophy, we do have the multiple formations. We'll run tight, pro, twins, some unbalanced formations, but the most important thing within this particular perspective is that we have a plan for each and every one of the formations. We have a plan on how we're going to attack things with a pro formation. We have a plan on how it's going to be attacked with a twins formation. We have a plan as to why we want to run two tights against certain teams. The plan is to have the offense dictate to the defense what our plan will be. We use the unbalanced formations to try and put ourselves in a situation where we can have a man advantage, maybe by moving a tackle over or something of this nature. Before we get into that real in-depth program as far as how our formations work for us, we need to establish our numbering system. What we have here is our twin back set and our two tight formation. The reason we have this is so we can get our numbering system across to you. And here at North Dakota State, we don't number the holes per se. We number the man on the line of scrimmage. Going to the right, our right guard is a 2-man. Right tackle, 4, 6. Outside of the tight end is 8. Conversely, we go with 3, 5, 7, and 9. We don't particularly number the center, but we do refer to him as things to his right as 1, his left as 1, things to his right as 0. We don't often attack right at the center spot. That tends to be a read point for us, and consequently, our numbering system does not get into the situation of numbering the center. Part of our philosophy, part of our numbering system, is that we want to work things to where we can avoid the bad play. We're looking for the sure types of things that will allow us to have a gain on each and every given play. We're going to get awfully excited about a 5-yard gain. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-yard gain via the run or via the pass. We also have the philosophy that each and every defense has a weakness, and that weakness, when we find it, will be something that we can exploit and move the football down the field. We spend a great deal of time schooling our athletes as to what those weaknesses are within each and every defensive package, and feel that we have something very solid going for us within this particular situation. Getting into our formations with a little more detail, we'll draw up. This is our pro formation. In pro formation, we'll try to work basically our entire offense, depending again what the defensive scheme will be that we'll be confronted with, and be able to dictate where we want to run the ball by that weakness in that defense. Twins formation would be a simple adjustment, putting the flanker and the split end on the same side. If you notice, our split end is the inside receiver. This creates a more simple system for which we are going to teach our pass patterns and our blocking schemes with our perimeter people, and Coach Rogers will explain that to us in better detail in a moment. Our tight formation, we call tight formation as tight right in this situation. All that tells us is we've got two tight ends in the football game, and we can run either side of the ball. We call tight right, means the flanker will be on the right-hand side of that formation. And if we flipped it over to the flanker on the left, it'd be tight left. Said earlier that we believe in using some unbalanced formations. Our straight unbalanced formation gives us a 3-man side with a split end on that side. That's unbalanced right. Okay? We can have unbalanced twins. And we'll horse around a little bit with some of our personnel a little to try and eliminate some of the teaching process. We may put a tight end in at this position to allow us to work some schemes to the outside with that person. eliminating the extra teaching for that unbalanced tackle. We try to use formations in a way that will allow us to exploit things that we may see as a weakness or a strength in a defense and place that strength overbalanced to one side or the other and exploit what they have given to us in their defensive scheme. Said that we have a series-oriented offense. The series offense that we work with primarily is the dive option offense, and that's a dive play with a down-the-line action by our quarterback, and that is our 40 series. In our 40 series, depending upon what we're looking at, we like to run a variety of plays. And the foundation for the veer coming from the University of Houston way back when Bill Yeoman put together this particular attack, was the inside veer play. We haven't run the inside veer play here at North Dakota State for a while, and we're going to resume that play again here in 1988 by the simple design of what some defenses are trying to take advantage of our particular offensive scheme with. We can now settle them down better with the inside veer. The inside veer is a triple read option play. It's actually got 3 phases to it, and we will be reading an unblocked defender. Okay, in this particular scheme, if we were running 42 veer, it would be inside veer to the right. We're going to double team on the nose to secure that center portion of the defensive front. We'll veer off to the linebacker, veer release to the force player with the tight end. We'll work the stock here with the flanker. And now our dive track with the running back will be more of a straight ahead type of action at the outside cheek of the offensive guard. Our quarterback will step back, try to come off the line in a comfortable way for himself, get the ball placed in the mesh point with the running back, and his read will be the first man on or outside of our offensive tackle. Well, this defensive tackle is on, so he's our read man. If he closes, the quarterback pulls. If he stays outside and sits there, it's a give read. So our first read in our triple option here is the defensive tackle against this okie look. Now, if this tackle closes for dive, the pull read, the quarterback now brings it out to the next man in the defensive scheme, which is the defensive end. That defensive end plays quarterback, quarterback pitches and reads off this end. Therefore, he kicks it out to the pitch back, and we've got the ball going out to the perimeter. The big play is on the outside. The big play is on the pitch. Now, the thing of it is, on this triple read, we tell our quarterback, you're never wrong. If you've made a read that feels like it isn't quite right, don't be afraid to follow your running back up. Now, as you come around to the outside here, it's a very simple read. Hey, that end is coming at you. Pitch the ball, get it to the outside. We've got the rest of the defense covered with our blocking scheme. Again, remember, on inside veer, the big play is on the pitch. Part of making the pitch a big play is to establish the dive. Now we can run that to either side. We'll get into more detail with Coach Som and the blocking scheme of inside veer versus some other front set when Coach Som gets up front here. next play, which is considered one of our bread and butter plays, is the 44-45 zone play. 44-45 zone also is a triple read type of play for us. Our read is very similar to that of the inside veer. There is one type of a difference in that zone play. We are going to read a blocked defender as opposed to an unblocked defender. It's a surer type of play. The risk in the play isn't quite as to the degree that the inside veer would be for us. We've run this play very effectively over the last 5 or 6 years. In the zone play, we feel that our center can handle their nose one-on-one. That is a very critical part of the play, and it's something that we feel we can take advantage of. In the zone itself, 44-45 zone tells us what the blocking scheme is primarily. We're zone blocking the folks in areas. Now, the difference for the running backs and the quarterbacks between zone and inside veer is not a great deal. We're going to dive at the inside hip of the offensive tackle. Running back takes that track each and every time. Our quarterback, rather than stepping back as he did in the inside veer, will step laterally or into the line of scrimmage. So we get the good mesh point at that particular point. The quarterback's read, again, has the same terminology for the zone option play as it does for the inside veer play. Read the first man on or outside of the offensive tackle. Okay, this tackle's on. He's our read man. What our read is, if that tackle stretches and fights with the reach block of the offensive tackle, it's a give read. We'll get the block on the linebacker, and we've got a nice track dive. If this tackle closes, it's a pull read, and now the quarterback comes on to the outside, options the defensive end. Pitchback's route is the same as it is for inside veer. Again, seeing a simplistic avenue for that pitchback. Repetition on the pitch route will be very similar for all of our plays with the option attack. The thing that we like about the the zone option play is that dive play, if they give us this type of read, we feel we should get 5 yards every time. If we don't get the 5 yards, hey, we're going to get 3 or 4. You add those up, hey, we've got some first downs, we've got the ball moving down the field, we're going to end up popping one someplace along the way. A very good play that is a complement to this is 44-45 scoop that looks very similar. The backside technique is a little bit the same, but yet has some differences. On backside here, we're trying to work something where we get the backside blocked up like in this fashion on zone. Now, with the scoop play, we modify that, make it look as much as we can like zone going to the right. We get the good inside release by the tight end. We try to work a cut here to get this tackle put down on the ground. What we want to have happen is this linebacker to be in a hurry to get over the top and make the play on the dive play. What we work here now is we'll work a scheme with the nose guard, and our running backs read out of the scoop play in 44-45 scoop is where the nose is going. If the nose goes away, then we'll cut back on primarily a track dive. If the nose goes towards, our cutback will be behind the nose. And again, we've got to have the linebackers on the move. In this particular play, if they're sitting back here with the backside linebacker, now we've got a chance for the zone play and the Okie scheme to be very effective for us. Along those same lines, we have a couple of plays that are very beneficial for us in the way that we are going to attack a particular defense, some good short yardage plays, some plays that are designed primarily for short yardage, but keeps things settled down play side as well. The play that we're talking about here is 44-45 load. 44-45 load, maybe a better term for it would be quarterback ISO. And that's about what it ends up being for us. We're base blocking up front as best we can, trying to secure things, again, from the middle out, or as close to the guard as we can outward. Working a scheme here. Now our running back takes the same type of path that he would on zone, reads where the daylight is, by the block on the offensive tackle, and is going to get up inside or outside, depending upon where the thing breaks for us, and block that play side linebacker. Quarterback comes down the line. The quarterback has to give it the same type of appearance that it would have in zone or possibly veer. The thing we want to have happen here is this quarterback cannot be in a hurry. As he comes down the line, if he's going to sprint to the outside, it makes the block for the running back tough. He's got to slow it down, and we say he's got to run on eggshells a little bit. As he gets down the line here, he's never wrong if he follows the running back up to the linebacker. We're going to get yards there. We tell the quarterback as you're coming down the line, and you see whether or not we've got this guy hooked. If we get him hooked up here, we want to get to the outside. The reason we want to get to the outside, again, we have the pitch back, taking a pitch route, and we're going to option the first man outside of the tight end. We come around the horn here, we'll option the strong safety. And again, the play can break here, here, or all the way out here. And it forces a defense, especially the play side inside linebacker, to play things straight for us. It's been an awfully good play for us. We have the strong possibility of getting to the perimeter with it. And one thing we have to emphasize with our quarterbacks is they need to be patient with it. They may have to duck it up several times to the inside to get the linebacker settled down. Probably even getting this end less than conscious to the outside, and we can get to the outside. Now we've got the longer game. Again, patience with this play is very, very important on the quarterback's behalf. Another short yardage play that we have a great deal of confidence in is 46-47 keep. Keep against this particular front. We want to run it towards the tight end side. We get the double team here on the tackle, working what Coach Sam will describe to you later as a combo scheme, trying to get the backer blocked with one of those three individuals. Again, we feel we can get the nose with our center, and we're working the scheme backside here again, trying to keep things from being overly effective in this point. The good thing about this play is that defensive tackle better be a dude or they're going to knock his teeth out. Now, the running back works the track at the crack of the, I should say, the inside cheek of the tight end, and we'll try and keep this defensive end from stretching much. Okay, we would expect him to close with any double team situation. That's what we would see. Now we want to get out here and get him hooked to the inside. Again, the quarterback has to be patient. Can't be in a big hurry. Reads the block on the defensive end, and we want to get it to the outside. Working things in this fashion. It's a play that works very well for us. We can run it to the two-man side if we see a reduced defense. A lot of things we can work with it. A play that is a very solid complement for this is taking and working principles similar to that of the old outside veer. We're just getting down the line as fast as we can and give the ball on the dive play, because this guy is getting over anxious about popping to the outside and staying outside of that dive back. We expect our running backs to be able to break that tackle and get us some positive yards. And you'll be surprised the number of times when we work this play and we've got things set up by running keep, how effective it really is. Moving on to the next series. Our 50 series is a two-way option series. Primarily, a trap option type of series. In our 50 series, it's a two-way option. There isn't a read on the line of scrimmage as far as one of the tackles for us. We want to get the ball to the end and option the end. Again, with that double team in that particular area, puts us in a situation where now we're working more than just the keep play on the double team look for the tackle and making things once again a little more difficult for that defensive end. We've got to work a scheme here where we're going to pull in the trap option. We're going to pull the backside guard, and he's going to hug the double team and block the first off-colored shirt that he sees. It could be the inside linebacker. The inside linebacker with the backfield action gets caught up in the wash. Will go on up to the free safety. One of these two people will combo off or come off and block the backside linebacker. Depending upon what the movement is up front with the nose, one of those two is going to get off onto the backside back. We can work a scheme here, get that cutoff situation taken care of with that backside tackle. Our backfield action will give us a flash step, get the linebackers taking a false key, quarterback reverses out. And very important that we tell our quarterbacks and teach the quarterbacks to get themselves in a situation where they're attacking the defensive end on an uphill fashion. You cannot run laterally here. You've got to attack it uphill. That keeps the end from being able to slow play the thing and stretch the offensive scheme out. As you can see, the effectiveness of the double team becomes all the more important with this emphasis by the quarterbacks. Now, we get this type of arc now with our running back. Again, the stock with the flanker. We want to have those running backs working that good solid scheme here. You notice how they're almost on the same path. Coach Hammerschmidt will go into better detail as to how we school that up in a moment. We like to run the 50 series when we have linebackers that are reading running backs and we have an 8-man front possibility. There are a lot of different defenses that try to get up in here and force us into the two-way option game, and now we have a way to get the man advantage by running the trap option series. Is our 30 series. The 30 series is again a two-way option, an option that doesn't have the counter type of look out of our backfield. It's a very good play for us down on the goal line. It gets to the outside in a big hurry. The thing we like about it is you can work it either way and in either situation. We think there's some ways we can exploit some things for some folks, have some good things going on for us. The thing we want to have happen again is we need the good solid double team here on that defensive tackle. Again, things must work in a fashion that gives us the capability to get to the outside. We're going to work the arc here with this running back, get the same kind of a situation with the pitch back. And we're going to option our block, the person responsible for the pitch with our lead back. Pitch back is going to work to the outside. Now, depending upon what we have in a game plan, again, if we feel we can get this block, we're going to work this scheme and work the combo here. This has been very effective for us. Again, another way to get the combo working for us within our particular design. We get somebody out to block the linebacker. Our quarterback will 6 o'clock step, gather, and then accelerate again on that uphill fashion towards the defensive end. Keep him from slow playing us. Now, if he gets down in here and starts to slow play and get to the outside, the quarterback's going to duck it up in the alley and run it upfield for positive yards. Again, the philosophy is to take what the defender will give to us. However, most of the time you'll see schemes where that defensive end squashes down in that double and sits here and plays the quarterback. We're going to get the pitch to the outside. We've got the opportunity in a simple football play to get the ball to the outside very quickly. Now we can run this same type of play and run the trap option sequence with it by adding the term 38-39 trap option. Things look the same, but you'll see the 58-59 blocking scheme in that particular play. And all we'd have then is we wouldn't be able to work the combo here. We'd pull the backside guard, fill things up there, and work the same type of play. The reason that we would want to get to that trap option, not a 38-39 option, is maybe the offensive scheme is not in good design with the defense's reading. Possibly the reading of the offensive line. Now we can get to the outside with our backs in a lot bigger hurry and beat the linebackers to the outside. Now we're going on into our 20 series. The 20 series is a counter series, has a very similar look for us as the 58-59 series, with the simplicity of the quarterback reversing out, gives us a new look. The play that has been very effective for us over the years is 22-23 dive. 22-23 dive is a counter dive type of play for us. What we're going to work is a basic zone or straight lane blocking by our offensive line, blowing the folks off in front of them. Quarterback will reverse out, get the ball to the dive back as deep as possible, and get out of his way. Give him room. Give him room to react to the blocks up front. Now that dive back is going to read the block on the nose. If the nose goes to his left, our right, now the dive back will cut back off of that. Looks for daylight. It's a very important play in our offense. We've worked it in short yardage situations. We've worked it a lot against Okie defenses. And we've designed a couple of blocking schemes, which Coach Sam will have an opportunity to share with you, that will tell us how we block it against some of the reduced defenses and that type of look. Now we have a 22-23 option play. We won't share that with you right at this particular point. It's a specific scheme that will fit within the way we plan to work things as far as the unbalanced twins formation or whatever it may be. To get into that detail, we feel it would be important that you sit down and visit with us on the specifics of those particular formations. This spring we've added a new play to our 20 series. We call it 22-23 counter, and then we add the letter or number at 22 counter at 9. And what that would be is that we're going to run the counter play off of this action and work it back against the green. Here we would want to run it back towards the three-man side. We call 23 counter at 8. Relatively simple situation. What we want is we want to work the 23 dive look where we get in here and fill with this particular running back. Now we're going to get the double, combo off situation, get the double team here, do away with that. Now we're going to get the step here. Quarterback will reverse out in the other fashion. Oh, that's the correct fashion. Comes out here and gets some depth. Running back will come back and work the counter play. We'll pull, kick out here, lead up to this tackle. Now we're working a counter play. It's been a very good play for us in spring practice. Primary reason we put the play in is to get our defense looking at it more than a couple of times a year, and it's also been very productive for us in our spring practices. Moving on into our play-action pass sequence, we feel the play-action pass is a very important part of our offensive attack. Primarily, as we indicated earlier, the defense is forced to play things honestly as far as run-pass. We do an awfully good job with our front folks, and Coach Sam has them doing things appropriately to keep the secondary from being able to play run real quickly or pass real quickly, because the play-action pass has been very consistent for us. It's important that we keep the invert players and the cornerbacks as well as the free safeties, slow down their support of the run. The thing we're looking for is we're going to take that sure gain, but we're also going to have the capability of looking for a trigger or a secondary person believing that it's run, react up to that run and flying up to make the play on the pitchback or whatever it may be, and then throwing the ball over his head and getting our receiver scooting upfield and getting the ball into the end zone. Play action pass has been very good for us in 1987. We expect it to be very good for us in 1988. An indicator of that success is we led the North Central Conference in touchdown passes last year, and we think we have the same kind of capability again this year. However, it is not the main focus of our offense. Again, we'll take what the defense will be willing to give us. Another reason we believe in this play-action pass system is that we have a very simplistic and simple type of protection. The rules are taught very well. Coach Sam has those folks confident in what they're doing and making things functional for us. We have a very simple route system. Coach Rogers will share some of those with you, as well as Coach Hammerschmidt in the future moments in this tape. Our play action sequence deals with a 20 action, a 40 action, and a 90 action. We call all of our pass plays with a 3-digit system. The first number is going to be the route that we'll run. The next 2 numbers will indicate to us what action we're using. That second digit says what series we'll run, and the third digit will tell us what side we'll run to. An example, 796 tells us we're going to run the 7 pattern, we'll run the 90 action, and we'll run it to the right. Right now I'd like to share with you our 20 action. If we're going to run 20 series, we'd run a 20 action where we work it this way, quarterback will reverse out, set up here, replace with the pitchback, and work the 20 series. This would be 23 action, for example, possibly 323. Also a 40 series, 40 again meaning down the line. The quarterback steps out, we get the dive fake, gets the ride, steps back, same replacement, down the line action, maybe 743. The 90 series is a down the line where it looks like keep. The lead back is blocking, very similar to that as what keep would be for us. Quarterback comes down the line, we'll step back a little bit, and we'll bring the pitch back as if he truly is a pitchback. And that has the possibility of being pitched out to him should all the secondary people have our receivers covered. The play action pass is very, very important to our offensive scheme, and we feel very good about the way it's been effective for us in the past. Any offense has to have more than the play action pass sequence. We believe that our sprint out pass has been something that's been relatively productive for us over the years. We feel very good about the way that has been working for us. We have some things that we hope to expand with that. We ran a little bit of a 12-13 action along with it, which is a pull-up type of thing. And the thing we feel about this particular sequence, on the straight sprint out, it gives our quarterback a run-pass option. We've got to become better at coaching our quarterbacks at believing they have the run option first, and the pass option actually is the second option. Protection is once again very simple. The routes again are very simple. And the quarterback's reads are made very simplistic as well. Usually picking out one person on all of the routes to make their read and base their particular throw upon. The thing we feel very good about this particular sequence, the 18-19 and 12-13 sequence, it keeps the defensive ends rushing honestly. 12-13 will make that defensive end have to play the sprint out look and also the pull-up look. Consequently, we have the opportunity maybe to get to the outside and play things a little more rigidly to the outside. It also forces linebackers to be honest and play things on the coverage side of the defense very honestly and very squarely. We'll also have a quarterback draw that we have the capability of working a draw play within this particular series as well. Does a very good job for us as far as attacking the entire field. Forces teams to defend the depth very, very diligently and very well for us. Okay, our 18-19 action. Quarterbacks in the 18 action will be sprinting out. this way, trying to get to the outside and getting things worked to where they're threatening things. We want to break contain and put pressure on that invert player that would be lined up in this particular area. If they're double invert, put pressure on both of them. Try to work something in the backside pocket. 12-13 action, we work it very similarly. Rather than getting out in here, we pull it up in tighter, quarterback pulls it up here, and we're working a replacement type of thing. Very, very effective for us. Also will work the ball deep for us with our pass routes, in particular with the 12-13 action. We also have some specialty plays that we feel are very important in our offensive scheme. As I said, we have a quarterback draw. You've seen the 22-23 counter. You've also seen the possibility of looking how we exploit the pursuit, working things in speed types of plays to the outside. So the reverse is an obvious element that we would like to work, in particular when the defense doesn't have a trail player. That's very important for our people up in the booth to be able to find for us. And if we can get that pulled off at the right time, it ends up being a very big play. Play action pass, as we said, is very important to our offensive attack. And we've added something even as a greater asset for us in that particular side of things is the halfback pass. The halfback pass is a surprise element. Usually is a feast or famine type of thing. We do have a couple of running backs that do throw the ball pretty doggone well, and we're pleased with the end results of that particular sequence.
A little bit about our basic philosophy when it comes to offensive line. Coach Hager's already alluded to the fact that we're very much run-orientated, and that will dictate the type of person we're going to recruit and the type of philosophy that we have as far as teaching technique. Our main philosophy is that we aren't going to ask an athlete to do something they're not physically capable of. We want to keep things within their realm of being able to handle, and consequently we also keep things simple when it comes to the mental aspect. We want to keep things on a basic plane so that they understand what we're trying to do and they understand the basic concept of the play and are able to execute that. Along with that, the majority of what we do up front will be a vertical blocking scheme. We're not going to get into cross block and that type of thing. We're pushing people horizontally. We want to keep everything going north, hopefully. Essential qualities for our players, they need to know proper technique. We spend about 50% of our practice time teaching technique as opposed to memorization of different assignments. And that allows us to make game adjustments very simply and very quickly in a game situation. It also allows for much more efficient use of our practice time, as well as simplifying the teaching progression. Another essential quality is the quality of strength. It's very important for our athletes to lock into a good strength program. If you have some time while you're here visiting, visit with Coach or two, and he can give you a lot more detail as far as the things we believe in. Basically, for offensive linemen, we feel the squat is a very important lift, along with the bench press and the clean. Another essential quality of our offensive linemen, they have to have the ability to communicate with the person next to them on either side. That'll enable them to make adjustments in a game situation and keep the flow of the game going without having a mental error or a physical breakdown. If they know the play concept as well, that's going to allow them to make adjustments in a game situation and avoid a mental mistake such as blocking the option man, something on that order. For each given play that we have a mental sequence that each player will go through, and it's very similar to any other type of program, although we think that we do some things that have been very successful for us that we try to get our players to lock into. Obviously, each player needs to know the point of attack on a running situation. They need to know the cadence as they break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. They need to widen their split to a 3 to 4 foot level. We feel that by widening our splits to that distance, we're going to force the defense to defend horizontally as well as vertically, as Coach Hager mentioned earlier. It'll also clarify the shades that the defenses get into. I'll get into shades a little bit more, and you'll understand why that 3 or 4 foot split is important. In addition to the above facts, it also enables our running backs to have a little bit better seam to run in rather than jamming everything together and creating problems for that running back to find daylight. After our splits have been established, it's important for our offensive linemen to communicate to each other what type of defensive front they're seeing. And we try to keep things simple again on the mental aspect. by identifying three basic fronts. We identify an Okie front as being a defensive front where the center is covered. And a 40 front is a defensive front where our guards are covered. We can also establish a call being an over call where our guards and tackles are covered. And we can get into various defensive fronts that are variations of those basic fronts by calling shades and calling different individual game adjustment calls. After the defense has been identified, our tackle is going to make a tackle call, which simply sets the blocking progression for that particular play for that particular defense. Eventually it ends up being a situation where it's more or less recognition, and our players will make the calls. It won't always be the tackles making the calls, but they will make the call just to refresh their memory and make sure that everyone's on the same page. When we talk about tackle calls, the players obviously need to know whether or not the tackle call is for a running play or a passing play. They need to know whether it's an inside running play or an outside running play, and they need to know whether they're on the play side toward the point of attack or on the back side. Each individual technique will apply to each one of those categories, and hopefully the players will be able to make the tackle call that will enable them to be successful on that particular play. Players have the freedom in a game situation to make adjustments, to call a call that maybe isn't the particular tackle call that we had originally planned for in that scheme, but by concentrating on technique in our practice time, they're able to do that without damaging the play and without harming our chance for success. The basic block on our running scheme is what we call a three-step reach, and it's a run block that enables that player to use the muscles developed in the strength training program to the greatest advantage for us. With the three-step reach, our initial movement is going to be a lead step at a 45-degree angle, a short step approximately 6 inches toward the point of attack. As that player takes that first 6-inch step, he's going to try to get his elbows back in a loaded position so that the arms are back behind the back, so that he's got all the torque necessary for the delivery on the second and third step. With his second step, as he takes that first step he's loading, with the second step he's going to deliver a narrow grip bench press, punching in the sternum area, concentrating all that power in that chest area, keeping the elbows in narrow, hands together, so that all that power is concentrated in a very specific and very small area. On the third step, he's going to get his third foot down. He's going to try to roll his hips in hard, using the muscles and the hip action learned with the power clean, and try to get his weight into the defensive player as much as possible. The second step should get that defender back on his heels and allow that third step to get our momentum moving in a vertical type motion and get everything going into the defensive linebackers like we need to do, to confuse their read and also make it tough for them to flow. I'm going to cover play side technique initially. I'll get to the backside technique at the end, but play side technique is obviously the most important thing, because if we don't have success at the point of attack, we're in trouble. The most basic play in our offense, as Coach Hager had mentioned, is the zone play. And just to go through the blocking progression real quickly, we're using a zone concept, which is an area type block, and that enables our offensive linemen to remain aggressive even in a situation where we're seeing a lot of movement by the defense. It should neutralize the three-way go by the defenders. As Coach Hager mentioned, at the center position, we're going to attempt to throw a cut block. When we throw the cut block, we want our center to be snapping the ball and moving with his play side foot at the same time. As he gets his second step down on the ground, the back foot down on the ground, he's going to be delivering a blow with the backside arm ripping through the play side leg of the nose guard. Now we're assuming that we can cut that man even though he may be shaded a gap over or a half a man over. If he shades to a gap, we need to get to a different call. We have game adjustment calls that we can make, such as the scoop call, where we're just going to block him high and try to ride him past the hole. But initially, we want to try to reach that one technique, if at all possible. Now, I said that we could handle a three-way go with this situation. If that nose guard should go on a slant toward the point of attack, it shouldn't be any problem as long as our center's getting a good first step. If he slants away from the point of attack, for example, if we're running 44 zone to the right side, the center is going to feel that initial movement on his first step. He should pop up off the ground, continue on at maximum angle, looking to cut off that backside linebacker. We don't feel it's physically possible for our center to cover the amount of ground necessary to cut off that play side linebacker, particularly in our league. Those linebackers are going to be running, and we can't ask them to try to cover that much ground and still get the ball delivered properly. The uncovered guard and on either side, both play side and backside, are going to read the foot of the near defender. I said I'd restrict this to play sides. We'll stay with play side zone call initially. This guard is going to take a 6-inch step, 45-degree angle. As he takes his step, we want his chin out over his toe. We want him reading the near foot of that defensive tackle. If that foot comes at him, we're assuming he's on a slant. We want to throw our body into his legs and cut it. Now, we don't get real particular about the technique here. We're assuming that the momentum of that defensive tackle is going to come into us hard enough so that if we just get our body into his legs, he should be down on the ground. Play side tackle is going to attempt to throw the 3-step reach, taking a 6-inch step, delivering on the 2nd step, and we're looking for stretch. If we can get that tackle to work laterally to the sideline, we're in great shape. We're not defeated in that situation. We're not worried about getting a big KO block here. We're not trying to knock anybody down. We need to make contact, keep our feet moving, and try to get stretch out of him. Now, if he should come on a slant to the inside, again, we know through communication that our guard is going to take care of that by reading the foot. The tackle, when he senses that tackle, defensive tackle slant down, should go immediately up to the linebacker. We're in a situation here where we're going to cut that linebacker. Again, using similar technique to what the center used on the nose guard initially. Our scoop, as Coach Hager had mentioned, is very similar to our zone in its initial look. And for our purposes as offensive linemen, it's going to be a very similar play. Play side tackle is going to try to throw the reach block again. Again, he's going to make a read on his initial movement. If the tackle slants to the inside, he's going to flow up to the linebacker. Play side guard is going to take the same initial step. This time he's going to do a little bit different block on his read. If he reads slant by the defensive tackle, he's going to try to wall that tackle up by staying high, rolling his hips in, just like our 3rd step on the 3-step reach, and making sure that his movement is pushing that man away from that basic running seam that we're going to be taking with the running back. If there is no slant by the defensive tackle, he's going to go on a base track straight up to the play side linebacker. Technique-wise, term-wise, we call that scoop and base. 6-inch step, read as you take the step. From there, go straight upfield, assuming that linebacker is going to sit back down and read the play and come back in. With our nose guard situation, ideal situation on the scoop play for our center would be a shaded nose, shaded toward the play side call. For example, 44 scoop, which would end up being a cutback back to the left-hand side of the formation. If we have a shaded nose, we're in excellent position by this center to just ride that nose guard past the hole. Roll the hips in hard, keep your belly in tight, stay high at all times if at all possible. We don't want to create crash on the ground for the running back by falling down and having legs laying all over. Looking at the zone and the scoop play versus a 40 front, we do have some adjustments with our interior people. Looking at play side tackle is going to take a zone step and go from there, go up to the linebacker. The thing we're telling that play side tackle is, as you take your zone step, you read that defensive end. If he's coming down on a fire-in technique, we want to just take the edge off him. We don't expect you to lock on him and finish him off. We just want to slow down his momentum to make it easier for the quarterback to get the ball off without taking a hit. So we're going to take the edge off this guy. He's coming down. After we take our initial zone step, we're going to base up to the linebacker. A 3-technique tackle out here, a 40 look will tell that play side tackle that you're going to cut that linebacker, because he's going to be out of our running track anyway, and he shouldn't be any hazard to the play. Play side guard is going to lock on with a 3-step reach. It's what we call an 8 call, meaning that he's got that man on a 3-way go. Now he knows that he's going to get a little bit of help from the center backside, but he also knows that if that man does slant to the outside, he's got to wall him off and make sure that he's guaranteed. The center in a 40 front will have a special call we call elbow to backer backer. He's going to snap the ball, take an elite step play side as he goes. If that play side tackle is giving any kind of penetration toward him on a slant, he's going to elbow him off just to buy time for this play side guard to seal him up and make sure that he gets good wood on it. As he takes that initial 6-inch step and is feeling for pressure with the tackle, he's visually checking the play side linebacker. If that linebacker plugs, he's got to pick him up. Now his natural track is going to take him right into the path of that linebacker on a plug. So it's pretty much a matter of just identifying the plug as it comes to you and being ready for the collision. If he doesn't see any movement out of the tackle or the linebacker play side, he's going to arc his route and check backside linebacker. It becomes a very essential block by him to pick that man up, because we find that the backside linebacker tends to make a lot of tackles on this particular play. Now, if we're looking at scoop as opposed to zone, action is basically the same. Difference becomes in center assignment when it comes to taking care of this backside linebacker. On the zone on backside, we can cut him. On the scoop, again, we want to stay high because the natural seam is going to cut back against the grain, and we don't want to have trash in the vicinity of the hole. Play that we just put in the spring that we feel is going to be a good complement to our zone play is the inside veer. And what we're trying to do is take advantage of an unblocked defensive tackle like Coach Hager had mentioned earlier by running a couple different looks at him with our play side tackle. And it all depends on the type of alignment we get out of that defensive tackle. If he's lined up head up in a 4 technique or inside in a 4-eye technique, we'll loop block him. In other words, we'll just take an outside release, assuming he's a 4-eye here, outside release up to the linebacker. Try to stay high on the linebacker. We don't want to cut block. We don't want a lot of people in the running back's track here. We'll double team the 1 technique or the 0 technique nose guard, depending upon what we see, trying for maximum movement. If we can free one of these 2 individuals off to get to the backside linebacker, great. But we tell them, you make sure you guarantee that down lineman first. If we get a 5 technique tackle here, it's going to make it a little bit of adjustment for the play side tackle. He's going to do the technique that allows him to get to that linebacker the easiest. In this case, we call it a veer technique. He's going to inside release, straight upfield to the linebacker. The way we do that technique is take inside step with our inside foot, 6 inches, straight upfield. As we take our second step, which we shouldn't have a long step on, another short choppy step, we want to rip through with our inside arm, trying to grab grass as we go. We're basically just trying to get our pad underneath the defender's pad and work our way through as cleanly as possible, going straight upfield to allow us to intercept that linebacker in the quickest possible manner. Again, when we get to the linebacker, we're going to stay high and just lock on. Technique for the tackle has been covered. The technique with these 2 individuals will vary depending upon the type of front we get. If we end up with a gap player in this situation, which some teams will do to try to confuse our reads, we shouldn't have any problem with that at all. Again, we're going to emphasize take care of the most dangerous man, lock on that gap player, that down defender, and try to get maximum movement on him at all times. The more movement we get, the tougher it's going to be on these 2 linebackers to make their read and get involved in the flow of the play. That's good. Still screwed up the veer. We talked about our play side blocking technique for our inside running game. Now looking at our outside running game, a good general rule is that whenever we try to get to the perimeter, we're going to involve a double team somewhere along the line. We have 2 basic types of double teams that we'll call as a tackle call. We'll call it a combination or a combo double team or a read double team. A combo double team will mean that we have backside help. In effect, it becomes a triple team. A read double team will indicate to the post man, the covered man, that he has no help backside, meaning that he may have to adjust his hips and adjust his movement if he does get some type of slant. Now, to make it simpler for our offensive linemen, we number the post man. If we have a double team occurring with the tackle as the post man, it's a 4 read or a 4 combo. With the guard, it's a 43 read or a 43 combo. With the center as the post man, it's a 42 read or a 42 combo. Looking at the combo block, first of all, a 4 combo, we tell that post man, you come off as hard as you can. It's challenge drill time. We want to get under his pads and just try to knock him back as far as we can. Don't need to worry so much about the individual technique when it comes to stepping with the proper foot, because you have help on both sides. On the outside, the seal man is going to take a 6-inch step toward that covered lineman at a 45-degree angle, and as he steps, he's going to feel for pressure by striking in the hip to rib cage area of that defender. On his initial movement, he should be able to feel pressure. If that tackle's on a slant, he'll know that he has to bear down a little bit tougher, get his hips in a little bit tighter next to this tackle. The tackle should be able to feel that initial movement, and he's going to swing his hips out to that seal man and make sure that that defender can't split the double team. Defenders are taught try to create a seam in there if possible. Break that seam, you're going to make 2 people block 1, and we're still going to have penetration. We want to do the exact opposite of that penetration. Seal man is taught to keep his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage at all times. As he feels that initial pressure, he's going to take a 2nd step straight up field, keeping his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. As he goes, he's looking for this linebacker coming over the top. By keeping your shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, we're in a much better position to be able to shoot out here and pick that linebacker off. Whereas if our shoulders are turned into the defender that's covered by the post man, it makes it awful hard to move laterally upfield to pick that person off. Keep the shoulders square at all times. Backside on the combo, 6-inch step. Technique-wise, we call this zone double to zone cutoff. Read the foot of the defender. If the foot's coming at you, you know that he's on a slant. As you make contact, you want to swing your hips around to match the post man. Excuse me. To enable the 2 defenders to seal that man up, thereby freeing up the seal man to go up to the linebacker immediately. If that tackle takes a step to the outside and you see him disappear on your zone double to zone cutoff, just maintain maximum angle, looking for that linebacker to get caught either behind the double team or to go slow enough on his movement so that we can intercept him. Ends up being a tough situation for this guard, because a lot of times if we get good movement out of that tackle, he'll have to kind of bend his route around, and it makes it awful tough to bend the route and still get into the linebacker's space. But we tell him, you take that initial movement and assume that he's going to be down on the ground and not in your path as you go. Example of plays where we're going to use the double team situation would be on our keep play on 38-39 option, on 28-29 option, which Coach Hager already covered. Looking at a situation where we would have a read double team, we get reduction over here. Postman recognizes the fact that the center is occupied. He's not going to have any help on the backside. He knows that he and the seal man are going to be responsible for the double team. A couple of subtle changes that's going to make. First of all, we need to be a little bit more under control with the postman coming off the line of scrimmage. We can't go out there out of control and assume you've got help on either side. You know you've got help at play side. The backside, if we get any type of slant movement, you know that you have to make an adjustment with your steps and pick that man up. Seal man, same basic technique as before. Keep the shoulders parallel. Good 6-inch step. Feel pressure. If that tackle disappears to the inside, you know you need to hustle upfield and pick up that linebacker. Subtle change coming with the situation backside. If we get a plug linebacker who's threatening that A gap, that postman knows that he's got to call for help, make a help call. And what that does is it releases his responsibility on the double team, because he has to protect that A gap immediately when that linebacker threatens. Seal man, listening for the help call. If he gets the help call, he knows he's got the tackle all by himself. We're not going to be overly concerned with keep parallel in that situation, but just get good wood on him and try to drive him down into the pile as best you can. looking at the combo and the read block versus 40 defense, very little change. All the change that's going to occur is going to be the location of the postman. Also, we need to tell our center to be a little bit more linebacker conscious. He's on the same track as a zone double to zone cutoff. He's more conscious of that backside linebacker. Big change for him in the 40 versus the Okie. The other subtle change that may occur on this is if we have outside dive play called, 46-47 dive, you might see a 6-eye technique, an inside shade by that defensive end. If that occurs, the tight end and tackle would make an I call, assignment change. Rather than having a combo here, a 43 combo, we're going to tell that guard, you've got to lock on him all by yourself, basically, because center, again, is going to be more backside conscious. We're going to change the location of the double team to an outside 4 call, meaning we're going to double team to the outside, guaranteeing that that end in the 6-eye doesn't come down in a fire-in technique and create havoc with the outside dive look. Puts a lot of pressure on this guard because he's got that 3 technique or that 2 technique tackle locked up man for man, and if he gets a lot of stretch, we're going to be in trouble because we're going to constrict the hold. If that situation happens with stretch by this tackle, we're going to try to run him into the pile, get him across the hole as fast as we can so our running back can see that daylight develop behind the stretching tackle, and hopefully we'll create another running scene. A couple of specialized techniques that go a little bit against the grain of what we normally do. The first of which would be the reach and come off technique, a technique that's going to be used by an offensive tackle in a situation where he's on the 2-man side, no tight end on his side, and the defense has reduced. An example of this would be 44 zone. If you remember from a previous discussion, we're looking for an 8 call on the 3 technique. That tackle is performing, or that guard is performing a 3-step reach block, looking for stretch. The tackle out here is going to play a little bit of a game on the reach and come off. He's going to take a 6-inch step initially, try to get this end to stretch to the outside to maintain, contain. As he establishes that first step, we want to try to get the head out over the chin, just like we do on our 3-step reach, and make him really think about the fact that we're trying to give him a reach look. Make him believe that he's being reached. As that tackle starts to stretch, we're going to plant with that initial foot and push off hard, ripping through, very similar to the veer technique that we use by the tackle on the inside veer play, but ripping through with the shoulder pad lower to the ground, aiming at a spot pretty much straight upfield, possibly a little bit to the inside, looking for that play side linebacker. Again, similar to the zone, with a 3 technique tackle, it means automatic cut by the play side tackle on the linebacker because of the track of the back. Reach and come off. Good initial first step, fool him with the reach step, rip through, pad under pad, drive upfield to the linebacker, look for the cut block as we get to the linebacker level. Coach Hager had mentioned earlier that we use a type of trap option or 58-59 option where we're going to be pulling a guard. Talking real briefly about the technique we use with the pull. If you remember back to my introduction, I talked about the fact that we want to identify the type of front we're seeing by calling it out, 40 or Okie. An additional reason to call out that defense is to help out that backside guard. If we're going 58 option, he's going to be taking a pull step and looking for a double team, identifying the double team, staying tight to the double team as he comes around the horn, looking to seal up on the first odd colored shirt that comes over the top of the double team. By identifying Okie or 40, you're going to tell that backside guard the approximate distance his pull is going to be. Now, obviously, we're not going to get out there and measure the number of inches. It'll give him a good general idea on where that double team is going to occur so he knows how soon he's got to pull up and lead through the hole. With our technique on the pull, we're going to teach a lead step, a short lead step. We don't want a crossover step by coming with the left foot in this situation across the body first. We want to take our right foot, take a short 6-inch step. It can actually be an aggressive step toward the line of scrimmage slightly so that as we continue on our pull track, we're staying tight to the line of scrimmage. We don't want a rounded pull because we're just going to get in the back's way in that situation. And also, we're going to assume as a puller that we're going to get good movement out of these people, and we're going to have to attack that line of scrimmage to find the double team. As we take that initial step, we're going to throw our play side elbow hard, because that's going to open up our upper body and get it pointed in the direction that we have to go. The foot, that's the lead step, and the torso should be pointed at our target as we perform that initial movement. We want to try to identify that double team visually as soon as we can as we take that pull step and throw the elbow. Sprint to the double team, staying down in a good hitting position, because there may be trash coming across here, there may be a linebacker plugging, or there may be some type of movement that we've maybe missed an assignment on. If anything crosses your face on the pull, you take it out. Make sure that we don't have something coming free to attack our mesh point with the quarterback. Make sure that we identify who the option man is. We don't want to come to the perimeter and find that odd-colored shirt out there and knock him down. It goes back to know the concept of the play. Identify that double team, hug the line of scrimmage, hug the double team, anticipate contact as you come off. Look to the inside for that linebacker flowing over the top initially. If he's not there, continue on upfield. We'll take a cut on a linebacker in this situation. If we get in a position where we're blocking one-on-one with a corner or the free safety, we want to try to stay high, try to screen him more than try to get a piece of him. We're assuming that free safety or that corner is probably a little bit better athlete than our guard is pulling out on the perimeter. Looking at our counter play, pull technique is essentially the same. Looking at play side technique, the same as 58-59 option. Double pull, stay tight to the line of scrimmage. The guard pulling is going to look to kick out that end, get the helmet into the hole, pad on the upfield side of the play, try to kick him out wide. Now if he's squashed down tight here, you need to make a decision. If you can get your body in between that double team pile and the defensive end, then try to kick him out and open up a seam. If he's squashed down tight enough so that that's almost impossible, then try to get your play side shoulder on the outside hip of him and hook him into the inside. Tackle backside on the pull, stay in the track of the guard, stay tight, read the guard's block at the point of attack. If he's kicked him out, you want to lead through the hole, finding the double team as you go, looking to seal anybody that's there or pick up anybody that's there, but more than likely sealing to the inside. If that guard is in a position where he's got to log that person in and hook him, then you need to belly back a little bit as you come around the horn and just look to pick up who's over there. The thing we found this spring in particular is that we tend to get a lot of corner pursuit that ends up right in the area of the backside tackle as he comes through the hole. All right, I think we've covered the play side running techniques sufficiently so that you should be able to understand what we're trying to get to. I'm going to talk about the backside running techniques real briefly. I have purposely left out the drill session that we go through, because I think that if you're here in person, first of all, you're going to get a chance to see them in practice, and secondly, if you're here in person, you've probably already received a drill sheet from me that will explain in better detail the type of drills we do to work on each individual techniques. Looking at the backside schemes, our zone scheme, zone call, very similar to play side. Backside guard is making a read on the foot. If we were calling 44 zone, the left guard would be the backside player. He's going to read the foot of that nose guard. If the foot comes, throw the body into it. The momentum will take care of the collision. If you don't see a foot coming, continue on at maximum angle. 45-degree angle may not be enough sometimes for the linebackers we see. We may have to widen that angle as wide as possible, allowing us to intercept that linebacker and take a cut on him. With the zone play in particular, we're free to cut that backside linebacker. That should open up a good running seam, assuming we've taken care of business on the play side linebacker. Backside tackle with a zone call is looking to read that foot. It ends up being a call we call reach to fold in. He's going to take a zone step, similar to a reach step. If that tackle tries to cross his face, he can take the cut automatically, because we know that he's going to be involved in the play if we don't take care of him. If defenses are sound, they've got a full player and a trail player. Coach Rini will get into that in more detail later. We're assuming that they are sound. If one player is going to trail, the other one's going to fold over the top. we're looking for that full player as he comes into our line of sight. Cardinal rule is don't let that player cross your face. Guarantee that gap initially. As you clear that tackle, if he's going on a trail technique, you make sure you're looking at that full player coming over the top. And we'll take a cut on backside again because of the fact that the zone play should break on play side. Now, if we're looking at our scoop play on the backside, similar technique. Scoop and base here. We'll take a cut automatically on that tackle, because if we get him down just for a count, get him to protect his feet, our running back should have cut back against the grain and already made the play on that. Looking at the 40 front, not much difference. As far as backside technique goes, we can make a zone call, read the foot here. We tell our player, if you end up seeing a two-eye player, an inside gap over that guard, we want to take an automatic cut on the zone. We'll get to a position where we'll call a scoop call, or a scoop play here, and we'll tell this offensive guard, if you're having a lot of trouble with that two-eye, you try to wall that man down, try to get maximum movement this way, so that when we come on the cutback action with the scoop, we should have a nice clear running lane to go through. Probably a better technique that we'll involve with our scoop play in particular is a technique we call a switch technique. The switch technique, we're trying to guarantee a linebacker and a down lineman with two of our offensive linemen without making it too complicated. What we're going to end up doing is take a narrow aiming point here, perform a three-step reach, only try to avoid the big stretch situation. We may get a tackle that's down, coming down on a slant to the inside, and may have to lock on and just bury him down if you have to. But try to maintain more of a straighter track rather than that 45-degree angle step initially, like the three-step reach. The uncovered person, it's always a covered man and an uncovered man with a switch. Uncovered person is going to take a full step, or a step very similar to a full step. He's going to try to maintain his shoulders being parallel to the line of scrimmage. Take that initial step. He's going to karaoke step or crossover step and get in the track of that covered person as he goes. We want a relationship where the uncovered man has his hand in the center of the covered man's back, and he's splitting a half man foot to crotch relationship. If we get that situation, we want to just push and get vertical movement as much as possible. Put your hand in the back, stay with him and push. Now, if that linebacker is in a read position and sits down and doesn't make great initial pursuit, we should catch him in the wash. Most of the time what happens is that we get some type of movement. Again, if that tackle goes down to the inside, the covered man is going to lock on and just wall him into a pile. The guard, or the uncovered tackle, as he takes his initial step, should see that slant. When he sees the slant, he knows that he needs to track straight upfield and try to pick up the linebacker. Particularly effective situation when we're on the scoop, where we're going to get that cutback look, because it's going to guarantee these two players, particularly this linebacker who has a tendency to sit down and not flow out quite as fast. The switch technique should take care of that. Now, looking at the third possibility, if we don't have a read, we don't have a tackle slanting to the inside, that tackle might possibly slant to the outside. As we take our initial step here, we feel that pressure coming out here. We know that that backside uncovered man is going to guarantee that slant. Continue on straight upfield, base that linebacker, stay high on him, get in tight, and try to rock him back on his heels. Tough assignment is by the uncovered tackle. When he sees that slant come down, he knows that he's got to get his hips worked back to the inside and wall that player off. So we have a nice running lane right through here between the linebacker and the tackle. Can't get lazy here. If we get lazy there and don't get our hips around all the way, then we're going to have a defensive tackle sitting right in the running back's track, and we're going to have a lot of problems with that. We can use a three technique. A covered guard can use the switch technique. Another area where we're going to use that is with a shaded nose guard. Let's say that we see an Okie front with the shade backside backside shade, we've got 44 scoop called, so we're going to take this type of track and cut it back. We're going to switch that nose guard with the guard in the center. Try to get maximum movement. If he's slanting down, we know we need to turn, get the hips around. If he's slanting out on a return, we know that we should wall him out. Look to that linebacker immediately as soon as you see movement by that nose guard. Good situation, particularly with the shaded look. If we're performing that technique properly, we should be able to pick up both these defenders without any breakdown at all. Key is keep shoulders parallel, look for maximum movement upfield. The last backside running technique that I'm going to talk about is a technique we call the fold technique. It's an ideal blocking scheme for a situation where we're seeing a stacked linebacker who's protected by that down defender, normally in a 40 front in our league. What we're going to try to do with this is take an uncovered and a covered offensive lineman and pick up both a down defender and a stacked linebacker on a backside technique. Covered man is going to take a little bit wider aiming point as opposed to the three-step reach block. He's going to try to get off clean as possible. He doesn't want to get tied up by that down defender. He's taking a path that will allow him to intercept that linebacker as the linebacker scrapes over the top trying to get into the flow of play. If he's getting tied up, we've got a problem. We don't want to get tied up at all. We may have to widen. We may have to try to rip through, but we really don't want to touch this defender at all. Now, when we practice in spring ball, we have a tough time because our defensive tackles are taught to lock on, and that can create some problems for us. But normally, if we widen, we should get by there untouched. The uncovered man is going to take a crossover step. As opposed to the lead step that we take on the pull, he's going to plant his right foot in this case, cross over with his left, trying to get distance laterally down the line of scrimmage. Don't worry about getting upfield because this defender is going to be back in the pocket here. He's going to be tight to the line of scrimmage or right up the hip pocket of this guard trying to pursue the play. So get a good lateral step, cross it over, and we're going to cut this man. We can take a clip here because we're in the free blocking zone, but we're going to just try to knock our body into the back of his legs and knock him down. Come off free with the covered man. Backside, uncovered man is going to take the cut block, the crossover cut, delivering on the second step as we get the foot down on the ground, similar to what we'll do with our 96, 97 play action pass that we'll get to in a little bit. Fold technique, uncovered and covered, stack situation by the defense. A drill we call challenge drill. It's geared toward getting offensive and defensive linemen to develop technique and perfect the technique that we teach on the three-step reach block. It's an essential tool for me as an offensive line coach to be able to look at, as you're going to see from this film, and pinpoint some errors that we're making so that we can modify our drill time and spend more time on one area that may be lacking when it comes to our technique. So we'll take a look at it and I'll comment throughout the film on some things that we're looking for with the three-step reach.
Right.
Yep.
Just wait now.
Well, we've got two lines set up. Ready? We've got two lines set up. We've got a line in each, one line at a time. Coach Hager's going to call a cadence. Obviously, with a linebacker depth at 4 or 5 yards, we have to do a little bit different technique when it comes to delivering on our second step. But you get the same basic idea. We need to get pad under pad here, get a little bit lower. We're not really getting a very good initial punch with our arms. We need to try to deliver a better blow, get our hips rolled in. He does a nice job of keeping his body going north and south here, getting that momentum going forward, but he's not really delivering a very good blow on that defender. The defender doing a good job of striking and releasing on him. A little bit better job with the arms this time. Our pad level again is high. That indicates to me that we need to spend more time in the chutes. Feet should be chopping, should be delivered on that second step. You can see how he gets his foot caught in midair before delivering. We want to get both feet on the ground as we deliver that punch. Does a nice job of staying with initially. He really doesn't give a good enough second effort to stay on that man for as long as we need to have it. And the opposite side, linebacker depth again, a little different look. Pretty good arm punch here. We need to keep our head up, keep that chin off our chest. We're in a very dangerous position here with the head. He's getting good contact. We don't want to make the neck absorb the blow here. Pretty good punch, keep the feet going. Because he had the chin down, he tend to lose sight of the defender and lose his perspective on his body and lose the man completely. Good arm punch here, good arm action. Problem is we're coming up out of our stance instead of driving out on a flatter plateau. We're a little bit too high here. Good arm punch, like I said. Get the hips rolled in. It's hard to roll the hips when the defender's got you pad under pad. Feet are chopping. We really don't have as much power as we need out of it. Pretty fair second effort, but we can do a lot better job initially off the line of scrimmage. Again, linebacker level. He's got the arms in a position to deliver. His timing's a little bit off. You can see how he's absorbing the blow here. Watch his head snap back. He's not delivering like he needs to deliver on that defender. That causes him to stagger with his steps. He doesn't get his hips rolled in the way he should. And the defender's beating us here. That's a good job by that linebacker. Looking one more time. Good arm action here. That's the type of arm action we need. However, we are a little bit high again. You can see how the defender's pads are underneath that offensive tackle's pads here. Causes his feet to get stalemated. Excuse me. Causes the feet to get stalemated. We really don't get the hip roll we need to have our weight going forward, and he ends up slipping off our block. Excellent drill for both defense and offense for developing the technique necessary to perform the three-step reach in our case. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, looking at our zone play, 44-45 zone, running 45 in this case. Just reviewing what we talked about, we have an okie front, so we're going to cut that nose guard by our center initially. Does a pretty good job there of getting that center, or that nose guard's hands down on the ground. Play side guard, taking a zone step, doesn't see a slant, so he's going to continue on at maximum angle, looking for the linebacker. Since he's play side, he wants to block him high. He really doesn't do a real good job here. He drops his head and misses that linebacker, but fortunately for him, we had enough flow that he took himself out of the play. Defensive tackle on the top is going on an outside movement that makes that offensive tackle on the left side's job a lot easier because he's creating a running lane automatically. Get a zone call back here. Tackle's taking his initial movement, sees that tackle slanting down, and throws the cut. Backside guard, taking maximum angle. He's reading the foot of the nose guard, sees that he's not slanting toward him, and he should try to cut that backside linebacker. When he doesn't get there quick enough to make the cut, gets just a little bit of a piece of him. Good run by the running back. We've got a pretty good running play. Good pickup down there. Again, on the zone play, we've got a shaded nose, tough block to the center. We get to an adjustment here, I believe. Okay, he's trying to throw the cut here. This is an adjustment we want to get to. As I mentioned earlier, with the scoop call, just stay on him high and try to run him by the hole. You get a good look at the arm delivery by the play side tackle here. Good punch. We get good stretch out of the defensive tackle. We create a pretty good hole. Play side guard is going to the play side linebacker, staying high, engaging him high. Backside, we get a good look at the backside fold call here. Play side or backside guard is trying to get off clean. The defender's doing a pretty good job of tying him up. Try to keep your pads a little bit lower here, backside guard, and rip through. Backside tackle should cross over. He takes a little bit of a jab step here, should cross over and throw the cut. It's a little bit of a piece of him, but you can see that little jab step cost him a split second of time that allowed that defender to flow across and make the play. Again, on the zone play, did an excellent job of cutting by our center on the nose. Did a good job of finding that play side linebacker. Look at the stretch we're getting here. Good delivery, getting stretch. Backside, we have a little bit of confusion here. We need to communicate a little bit clearer what's going on. We end up with a play side or backside guard trying to pick up the fold player. If we'd have gone to a zone call, he should have gone to play side linebacker. A little bit of confusion. Backside linebacker ends up being missed. And we're looking now at the scoop play complement to the zone. With an okie front, our center is going to try to take that nose guard, drive it past the hole, So he does a pretty good job of rolling his hips in, creating a running seam. We've got a switch call on backside. Covered man needs to get his pads down lower here. He's getting caught too high. Backside uncovered tackle here is making a good track, getting right in the path of that guard, but the guard isn't getting low enough in this situation. If he's low enough, he should come off here as that tackle makes contact and gets wood on that defensive tackle and come off right to the linebacker. Because he doesn't get to the linebacker, a running back takes an unnecessary hit here. Looking at play side, same as zone basically. You've got a reach block here, scoop, check the foot, up to base that linebacker. Notice he's taking a little bit straighter track. He's not angling off to pick him up on his own cutoff angle. Good play with the exception of the switch backside. Next play we'll look at a little bit better switch situation. See the backside tackle here is taking a good track, getting right in the track of the guard, looking for maximum movement, just pushing upfield until he has a sense of feel as far as where that linebacker is. Right here he sees the linebacker, should pick him up like he does, and we're in pretty good shape. Center is taking the nose guard, driven him across the hole. Play side guard is taking a scoop and base angle to the linebacker, seals him up nicely. We get a reach block out of the tackle. Pretty good looking play. Okay, we're looking at 59 option here. Give you a look at our pull scheme by our backside guard. You can see that on his track, he's trying to stay tight to the line of scrimmage, trying to find that double team, hug the double team, stay away from the option man. You see him run right by the option man here and look for trash coming over the top. You can see that on the double team, the tight end is taking his initial step. He sees that that defender, that defensive tackle is sunk down to the inside. He knows that he can free up and go right to the linebacker. Now he ends up in a position where his shoulders are away from parallel, but really that's okay once he's established where that linebacker is and he knows he can seal him up. Center's got a 42 read call here, actually a 42 help call. He's blocking back, filling for the guard. Zone look by the tackle here. He's got to get his pads a little bit lower. Guard could actually work more width here. He ends up bumping into the tackle. He should round that double team and work straight upfield to this corner. Excellent run by the running back. Pretty good second effort by some of these linemen getting downfield. Something we don't really stress that much. We want them to take care of the initial front before they start worrying about other people. Okay, we get a look at another situation. This time we've got a read double team on. We don't do a very good job with the guard here. He ends up getting beat. We actually don't do a very good job with the double team, but it gives you a good look. Now the center blocks back here. Get a pretty good track by the guard. He ends up trying to pick up the trash. Remember we said that anybody who tries to cross his face other than the option man is a legal game for him. You should try to pick him off. Quarterback does a nice job of kicking out the ball. Running back gets north and south and picks up good yards.
Next we want to talk about the tight ends in our offensive scheme of things. First thing we want to talk about is their stance. We want to be very similar to the offensive line stance. The back flat, feet shoulder width apart, good weight on the hands, on the feet, be ready to get off the ball. We don't want to have a lot of weight on the heels. We want to go forward with that out of our stance. Our splits with our glorified tackles or tight ends we want them more than 3 feet. We tell them 3.5 feet, okay, for basic reasons, especially on the backside so we get the tight ends through. There's 2 ways we actually block the tight end. We seal on the inside and we also veer release. The first thing I want to talk about is sealing the inside, either on a double team or a quick veer or some sort of release to get to the linebacker. Coach Salm already talked about the double teams, the combos, the reach and come off techniques. Our tight ends in our scheme of things use those same type of techniques. It depends on the technique that he's going against in this area right here or on the other side, depending which play is going. If the tackle's covered either head up with a 4 technique, or an outside shade with a 5, or if the person's shading inside with a 4-eye. That's our key. What I'm talking about is a 30 series, 38 option, or 50 series, 58 option, or a dive or key plays, 46 dive or 46 key. Okay? We want to establish a line here, a double team on all those plays, a line here, trying to keep all the defensive players on that side of the line. All right? On the double team, of course, we use the same thing, the aiming point, base, and secure this person right here. We want to secure the first down person, make sure he's secured. We don't want to release too soon and try to get to the background of the double team. If you do that, the tackle could slip off and tackle the quarterback. We don't want to, we want to secure the first down person. Once he's secured, we feel that the offense tackle working his hips towards the hole. Now we bounce up, keeping our shoulders parallel and working up to the linebacker. If the linebacker gets over the top, which sometimes happens, then we automatically turn back and look for the backside linebacker. We don't want to turn and chase him, that's just wasting our energy. We just want to look backside all the time. If, for some reason, they come into an eagle defense, or this tackle is reduced, somewhere now he's lined on our guard, offensive guard, either a 3 technique or head up or 2, or inside shade on the guard, a 2-eye. Now this is going to declare a different type of technique he's going to use to get to that backer. Now we don't have to worry about this person here, because there is no person. The double team to take place here, he's responsible to block that linebacker. Very similar to what the defenses have to do. They're responsible for every gap. We've got people on offense that are responsible to block certain people. And on our 30 series, the 50 series, the 46 keep, or the 46 dive, we're going this way. He's responsible to block this linebacker once this person's uncovered. Okay? If the person on him now is a 6 technique, this is head up right on him, we will use either the reach and come off or the quick veer, depending on what he does on our first initial step. With the first initial step with the tight end, we want him to act like he's going to reach or a quick veer and get to that backer. Now if that ends fighting on that first step, to protect that linebacker, now we'll peel back inside with the reach and come off technique and block the linebacker. Now he's head up still. And now we use that reach technique first step. He's sitting inside, and we'll just continue off and peel back inside for that backer. Let's assume he's a 7 technique. The 7 technique will qualify right away what we're going to do with the tight end. We will reach and come off and go up to the backer. When he's a 7 technique, this is to draw it up where he'll be. We should have a clear shot. The only thing that's going to keep the tight end from getting the linebacker at the end, just grabs on and locks on with the tight end, some type of holding scheme. But what we want out of that tight end is the same technique as a doodad technique. You step with the right foot, rip up the inside shoulder, and I'll go up to secure the linebacker. The reach and come off. Reach, come off, go to the linebacker. Now the defensive end is a 6-eye technique. This will declare right away what we're going to do. Obviously, you can't reach and come off. He'll be in the way. He's definitely inside. Now we'll just use the quick veer. This is on 38 option, 58 option series, 46 dive, 47 keep series. Now that we talked about sealing the inside plays, we'll continue on and talk about the veer release plays where the tight end has to come out and block the perimeter players. Again, as I stated before, it's not a joking matter with some of our tight ends, but they call themselves the glorified tackles. We don't throw the ball a whole lot. They're used for blocking, either double team down, secure the double team, pop up to the backer, or we're going to veer release our tight end on our options teams. When we veer release the tight ends, we veer release them on the zone play, the veer play, and our 22 and 23 option plays. Those are the only plays in our offense that they will veer release and block on the perimeter most of the time against a strong safety. I'll get into the rules here in a second, how we relate to this. Technique-wise, on the veer release, we want this tight end. He's in the stance. You know, we're running 44 zone here. We're going to the right. Dive option, triple option play here. He's going to plant on his left foot, pivot on his right, then cross over 1, 2, 1. His first step is actually with his left 1, 2. On his third step, he'll continue upfield and block this strong safety. And you'll see different techniques. If you come out the field and watch our tight ends, you'll see different techniques within them. We don't want this strong safety to beat us inside right away. The better ones you'll see do this, the older ones, they'll actually veer release and try to keep their shoulder pads square. They won't run and turn this way. They'll actually just kind of skip, keeping those shoulder pads square as much as possible so they don't allow this guy to come inside them. The big thing on the veer release though is to get width. We're blocking for pitch. Your first step, 1, 2, 3. Now we're turning up. We want to get width on this. If you don't get enough width, and now we get to the pitch, this guy's going to beat you upfield and tackle the pitch back. You've got to get width. How wide? We want to get wide enough to where you're going to secure the line of scrimmage in your helmet. Your shoulder pads are here and here. The strong safety is coming up to meet you. We want your inside shoulder pad on his outside shoulder pad. Some type of relationship like that. And that's when we want to attack. If you don't get it wide enough, he comes over the top of you, then chances are we're going to have a dead play. Now I want to talk about rules. The rules, we have a very basic rule. With the receivers and the tight ends, whoever, in our zone, in our triple option series, either the zone or the veer, or we're going to triple option where the quarterback has a chance to carry the ball, the dive back, or the pitch back. That's triple option to us. In that series, with the tight end, we go with a 1, 2, 3 rule. He starts on the tackle and counts 1, 2, 3. He's going to block the third person. Okay? That tackle's uncovered right here. Now he starts counting right here. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty? Tackle's covered here. Once he's covered, now you start on a tackle counting on the tackle. 1, 2, 3. That's the person you're going to block, is the third person. Main thing is, because we're going to read the first person on those two plays, we're going to read the first person on the offensive tackle for dive. We're going to pitch on the end, and we need the tight end to block the third person for pitch. If he messes up in one way or the other, then the play is going to be dead, unless we make some plays in the backfield. But here, the basic 1, 2, 3 rule is, you start on the tackle, 1, 2, 3, veer release, block strong safety. Tackle's uncovered, count, he's uncovered, no one's here, 1, 2, 3. So on our zone and our veer, we're going to read this person for dive. If he blows, takes dive. Quarterback come out and option next defender. Now we want to skip this person and block the free safety. Okay? We don't want to block someone that we're going to option for dive or read for dive or option for pitch. And that's our basic 1, 2, 3 rule. It's very simple. The last thing I want to talk about blocking wise for the tight end is backside on scoop. His block is probably, you know, you can't say it's the most important block, but it's important. If you can't get that block, chances are the end's going to get on the play. He's going to make it for maybe a 4 or 5 yard gain. But if we get this block and we break through clean on the backside here, then we can get into the secondary. This block is important. Technique-wise, we try to teach to our tight ends short, choppy steps. Again, you can't emphasize the base enough. You can't emphasize patterning pad enough. That's what you got to get. We're running 44 scoop right here with cut back play. Run back's going to read that nose guard. We're going to try to cut this tackle right here. And now we're just going to try to get inside position on this end. By getting inside position, we want to do this with your base, especially with your feet. Short, choppy steps. Your first step, inside foot's got to be upfield at a 45-degree angle. Your next step, your left step, most important step. If you get that thing too long, this guy gets locked into you. He's got control of you. So the next step, you got to get it back on the ground as soon as possible. Your second step, get it down on the ground as soon as possible. Then on your third step, you got to wheel around a little bit with your right step. So eventually you get your shoulder pads turned in this type of manner. Now once you get in this manner, again, he'll probably be the fold player. Once you get in this type of manner, then we want to get your shoulder pads eventually turned to there. If you stay in this manner here, chances are you can still get over the top again. We want to try to force this guy to come underneath. If he comes underneath, hopefully we'll be by him. Comes over the top, chances are he'll get on the play. Good footwork, good base, patterning pad, getting upfield, making this person come underneath you. That's the whole trick.
I'm here to talk to you about the wide receivers at NDSU. Wide receivers must be able to block for the pitch back on our perimeter game and also catch the ball in our play action series. There's a few qualities we look for in our split ends and our flankers. Our split end has been more of our big player, the big play type, very good athlete, sprinter, and good in the open field. Our flanker is more of our blue collar type. We compare the white collar and the blue collar. The split end is more of our white collar. Our flanker is our better blocker, not afraid to get his nose dirty, and more of our possession type receiver. We use play action pass at NDSU for several reasons. It's contingent on an established running game, something that we do quite often at NDSU. The routes of the receivers are similar to their assignments in the running game. And thirdly, the blocking schemes make it extremely difficult for the defensive backs to get an easy key or a read from our offensive linemen. We use a basic 2-point stance at NDSU for the wideouts. We ask our wide receivers to have their inside foot up, outside foot back, weight on the balls of their feet, arms relaxed and bent a little bit at the hips, and eyes are on the ball instead of the quarterback. We ask for them to peripherally see the quarterback and hear him, but we'd like their eyes on the ball. Our alignment varies from formation to formation and play to play. Up on the board here I have our tight formation, something you've seen from Coach Hager, Coach Salmon.
Test his point.
Next formation I have drawn up on the board is our twins formation. You see here at NDSU we have our split end on the line of scrimmage, approximately 2 yards inside the hash marks. Our flanker splits the difference between the hash mark and the number. We use 4 basic blocks at NDSU. For the wideouts, our primary block is a stock block. The stock block is also used by the tight end on his veer release, and I'll get into a little more detail on that very shortly. The second block we use at NDSU and teach our wideouts is a slam and release, and we also use the term collision come off block. This is a block used between the split end and either the running back and the tight end on our two-way option. The backside cutoff block is a block that is used for when the play goes away from our wide receivers, and Coach Hammerschmidt went into detail with our backside cutoff with the tight ends yesterday. We ask our wide receivers never be satisfied with just a good block. We ask them to hustle and get downfield and get across to the corner flag and get in the way of that last defensive back that has a chance of making the touchdown saving tackle. It's not the type of block you always see on film, but it's one of the more important. And then the last block we teach is a crackback block, and this is used mainly by our split ends. The crackback block is not one of destroying the linebacker nor the free safety. We ask our split ends to get in the way on the crack, say on the 38 option. We ask our split ends to get into the way of this linebacker and make this linebacker go underneath. It's not a devastating block. We ask him to make that linebacker change his pursuit angle. I'd like to go into a little more detail on the stock block. It is our most basic block that we use, and we view this daily during our practice. There are some coaching points that I try to use, and we try to use as coaches here at NDSU. The first thing we always tell our wide receivers is to come off the line the same way every time. Come off the ball smoky. Our 6 pattern is our fly route, 696, 697. We ask our receivers to try to use that principle every time. Come off the ball like you're going deep every time. 3 to 5 steps. It's the most important point to remember for the wide receivers, and it's also most difficult part of it to grasp for the wide receivers. We want them to do that. The second thing we ask the wide receivers do on the stock block, when the defensive back reads run and is reacting to the play, we want the wide receiver to break down and mirror the defensive back. We tell them when the defensive back stops, you stop. We don't want that wide receiver to get too close to the defensive back. As he breaks down, as the defensive back reacts, to the play, break down and shuffle and just mirror. If the defensive back is playing soft, we have 2 other things that we do. If the defensive back is playing soft, we just mirror and screen him. Listen for our go-go call from the running back, and we just mirror him. If the defensive back is playing hard and not respecting our ability, we'll cut him. We'll take him down. We don't use it very often, but we do cut him if he's not getting, if he's not respecting our ability to block. And the fourth thing that we try to do is give the running back all the room that we can. If the defensive back, in this case the cornerback, if the cornerback is playing an inside technique, we'll take our outside release and go downfield with our flanker in this situation. If that cornerback is going to stay inside of the flanker, we'll just screen him. We'll stop and shuffle and block him this way, staying square to the line of scrimmage with our shoulders with the flanker and giving the running back the boundary. We always try to guarantee the boundary. However, if the cornerback is playing it to the outside and veering to the boundary line here, we teach the flanker to just take that defensive back right out of the picture. Take him up into the 3rd row. The stock block is not a difficult block to learn. It's not a difficult block to teach. The main thing is our wideouts must have some pride in their blocking ability, and dedicated to getting the running backs in the open. That's all we ask for from the wide receivers. I'd like to show some film of our 38-39 option. You can see our alignment split in on the line of scrimmage, flanker off, splitting the difference between the hash and the numbers, split in approximately 2 yards inside. Split in takes his cue to the linebacker. As you see, he breaks down, not a real devastating block, just trying to change the pursuit angle, get that linebacker to go underneath him. The flanker breaks down when the defensive back, the corner, reads the play on his stock block, shuffling. Coach Sam has already gone over our 3-step reach. We use the same idea here with our wide receivers. Break down, hands in the hips, deliver the blow. Trying to keep an outside leverage and stay on until the whistle is heard. We'll show one more. Going to our left now, 39. Should get a crack from our split end. Again, you notice here the linebacker disappears. We work on, after that happens, we work on the receivers going to the next level. Going from the crackback block from our splitting, going up top to our flanker. The cornerback makes his read, flanker breaks down. Staying square to the line of scrimmage. And if he wants to run to the outside, we'll take him right up into the third row. Command the wide receivers to block perfectly every time in practice. Get excited when they do and get excited when they don't. And drill.
Moving on with the offensive backfield. First of all, I want to talk about in the backfield. I don't want to coach a prima donna. We don't want to coach a prima donna. In the backfield, it is very easy to be a prima donna. They get the ball 99% of the time in the game. We don't throw the ball a whole lot. The quarterback is the main person wheeling, dealing with the ball. He can very easily be a prima donna. We stress as highly in our offensive schemes that the quarterback, if he wants to be that prima donna, we're going to lose that the team unity ideal of things, and we will not be successful. So the quarterback has to understand he's got to take it in stride, be a team leader, and to compliment his teammates all the time because they're the ones that are getting the job done for him to do the things he can do. Also with the running backs, on every play, either they're going to be blocking, or running a pitch route, or carrying the ball. We're not going to go out there and half fake to one direction and not go half speed, saving some energy for the next play. Like I said, either we're going to carry the ball, or we're going to block, or we're going to run a pitch route. And on that pitch route, we're going to be going wide open. We're going to break the line of scrimmage with the fake. Chances are, when the time comes that we're going to pitch the ball, we want it to look like the same thing. We're running wide open, good effort. We do rotate 3 running backs in the backfield, so those guys got to give a good effort, or else we'll find someone else to put in the backfield. What I want to talk about next is our triple option plays. First of all, Coach Hager alluded to it already, the inside veer. Some of the reasons why we had to go to it, we were, with our zone plays, we were getting a lot of stunts up front, miskeying our offensive line. Sometimes they reduce down and do some smoke-in stuff with the strong safety coming inside the end, and it did give us some confusion up front, and also with the quarterback and the running backs. With the inside veer, it hits a lot tighter than the zone veer concept. And we think this will take care of a lot of the stunning up front because they won't be able to get there with the angles they'll be coming in. In the backfield, the alignments, first of all, quarterback, of course, you're lined right behind the center, but the running backs, because we have that 3.5 foot split between the center and the guards, we want our running backs, their nose, a little bit inside shade, almost right on the hip of the guard. That goes for both backs. The reason is because on some of the plays that we run, especially for the pitch routes, if we get a little bit wider, say we're right over the butt of the guard, we're running some type of pitch route going this way, most of the time this pitchback ends up cheating over this way a little bit, and that's going to give away the direction the play's going. So what we ended up doing is putting both backs right on the inside hip. And that's mainly because of that 3.5 foot split. And I know in high school or some colleges or whatever, they don't have that 3.5 foot split. Maybe a 2, and some people even go to 1.5. And that would give them the natural alignment right over the butt of the guard. But since we got that wider split, we want to go a little bit narrower. The nose goes right on the inside hip of the guard. And now we don't have to give away the cheat on the pitch route. And everything still stays the same. On 42 veer, first thing I want to talk about, 42 or 43. Veer. Quarterback mechanics. What we want out of him, Coach Hager said, we open up straight back at approximately a 4 to 5 o'clock step with the right foot. And it's not much of a step, it's about a 6-inch step, just to open up and pivot. The running back's going to go straight ahead, which will put him somewhere on the inside hip of that guard. For the quarterback, as he opens up and pivots, he takes the ball from his midsection and places it in the midsection of the running back. His right step on his read again is going to be the first person on or outside our offensive tackle. On his right step, he's going to make that read. He's got that ball placed in the midsection of the running back. He's going to ride and step with that left foot. He's going to step with that left foot right into the line of scrimmage. We don't want to step out. You step out, you're going to trip that running back. I want you to ride, step down into the line of scrimmage. Now on that ride, you read. If that tackle closes, what I want to talk about now is a triple option play. We've got 2 of them in our offense. The first one is 42-43 veer. The mechanics, first of all, talk about the quarterback. Mechanics for the quarterback on 42-43 veer. Again, I want to first of all talk about 42. The 2-hole is over the butt of the guard. Our alignment in the running backs, we align that inside bite on the inside hip of the guard here. But the running back can go straight ahead. The quarterback, we want that 4 o'clock open, a little drop step, not a long one. It's only going to be about a 6-inch step with that right foot. He opens up about 4 o'clock, slightly backwards, taking the ball from his midsection and placing it for a mesh in the midsection of the running back. We do something we call veer drill. We get a lot of reps at this. We don't want to place the ball on the ground right here. Place the ball in the midsection and then ride into the line of scrimmage. On the ride, we step with the second step, our left foot, right into the line of scrimmage. We step that second step into the line of scrimmage. On the ride now, we make our read. Our read is going to be the first person on or outside the offensive tackle. When we're riding with that second step, got the ball in the midsection, we make that read. If that tackle closes, we're going to pull the ball. We believe if he turns, and the quarterback can see his numbers, if he turns and flashes the numbers of the quarterback, he's committed himself to dive. The quarterback will then ride, pull the ball, come down the line of scrimmage. We want to try to avoid bellying back at all times. If you do belly back, you lose some pitch relationship, and it costs us time coming down the line of scrimmage. Also, you can't put yourself in a very good inside-out attack angle on the defensive end. Once we come down here, we're in a much better position to attack that inside shoulder than what we will be up from coming around here belly and back. That's going to cost us time. You can slow play us a lot longer. We want to come right down the line of scrimmage and then attack his inside shoulder and option him, see if he's going to go to pitch or take quarterback. When you do come down the line of scrimmage for the quarterback, make sure you're running on eggshells, short choppy feet, so you can react to what's happening in front of you. If this tackle stays, if he just stays and stretches, he just stays there, he doesn't flash the numbers or stretches on our doodad technique, we will give the ball to the running back. Once we give the ball, again, we want to carry out the fake. Hopefully we can pull a secondary defender out of the middle. If we do break it up the middle, he will not be there to tackle the running back. Now, again, I talked about earlier, fakes are important in our scheme of things. When we do fake, we want to break that line of scrimmage. Technique for the dive back. Again, we're going to run straight ahead. This technique, we step first with the inside step, second with the outside step. So your first step will be inside step, straight ahead. And at first we started coaching this to run wide open. We want to get you here as quick as possible. What happened there, we were running out of control. We couldn't make our reads. And so we slowed down a little bit, 90%. Wide open, so we can make a read in here and make a cut and get going. So don't make them run as fast as possible. Make them accelerate, get there as quick as possible. But run controlled enough so you can make a read in front of you if you do get the ball, so you can make the cut. On the exchange here, very typical. We want the inside elbow up, which would be your left elbow up, and the thumb set right in the sternum. The thumb set right in the sternum. Your bottom hand should be set at the belly button with your palm up, your fingers open so you can get the ball. We talk about a soft squeeze in here at this mesh point. We do enough reps of this in veer drill that we get a technique in here we call soft squeeze. You don't want to grab the ball from the running back or from the quarterback. If you do, quarterback might try to pull it in here, you're going to lose the ball. You soft squeeze it. Once you feel the quarterback's hands go and you got the ball, then you lock onto that ball. But if you feel the quarterback trying to pull the ball, again, it takes a lot of reps at it. Then you release it with your hands. And now we want you to go block somebody. If we do get to the full read, we want you to stand on your feet and try to block somebody. We don't want you to come here and fall down, get in someone's way, get someone hurt. We don't want that to happen. Stay on your feet, hustle downfield, maybe get a touchdown block type thing. If you get lazy here, that's not going to get the job done for us. We want you to stay on your feet. For the pitch back, his technique is the same as we have on all our other plays where he runs his pitch route. He will pivot on his right foot, cross over with the left, stand low. We say keep the nose over the toe, run a straight line. Again, if you belly back, if you do anything backwards or do anything forwards and get off that line, it's going to cost you time getting out here in your pitch relationship. We want you to run that straight line. Pivot with the right, cross over with the left, and run a straight line. Run a straight line. The thing you'll find with the inside veer, because you get this nice long ride step right here, the pitch relationship is going to be better. The pitch relationship is going to be better than what you have on the zone veer, where we're coming down the line of scrimmage, a slight ride step, and then we're kicking the ball out right away. With this long ride step, you get a much better pitch relationship. The quarterback, running backs can get out in front of you, As you can see, the ball should be pitched right there, and that's a pretty good pitch relationship. As soon as the running back catches the ball, he should, on his next step, break the line of scrimmage. Or go forward from where he caught the ball. Assume maybe the ball's pitched from down here, your next step, you're in front of the quarterback. That's the type of pitch relationship you should get off this play. Running it versus a free technique, outside shade on our guard, the tackle on covered, a 40 look on this side right here. What we want to do, the blocking scheme's going to change up front. We're going to double team that 3 technique, try to combo off and get that backer if he does come to the outside. Again, the angle we're hitting with that running back is straight ahead, the inside hip of the guard, which is going to hold that linebacker in here a little bit more. Shouldn't fly over the top like they do on our zone track, on the 4-hole track. The read, now for the quarterback, is the first person on or outside the tackle. Here it would happen to be the person on the tight end. Now for the tight end, his basic rule is a 1-2-3 rule again. Starting there, 1-2-3, you'd end up blocking the free safety. On the veer release, quarterback reads the end for dive. As you can see, the end's got a long ways to close. You can just 99% of the time tell the quarterback versus this type of look, you're going to get to the give. You're going to get to the give. You step back, same technique, ride, now you make your read. Ride, step to the left foot, make your read, continue down the line of scrimmage. If the end closes a long ways and he takes this guy, you pull the ball. If he stays or stretches, you give it. Now, as you see, now if he just turns and flashes his numbers, he's got a long ways to go. If he crosses the line of scrimmage, he's got a long ways to go to take the dive. The only way you're going to pull the ball if he closes really flat to get there. Once he closes, then we'll come out and option next level. Should be that strong safety sitting right there. If we get to the give, the running back's going to read this linebacker. That linebacker's sitting in the A gap. He should try to bounce outside that double team. That linebacker's sitting on stack. We want that running back just to run the daylight. There's a gap in here. Let's take it north and south. On this side here, we'll try to switch things up and pull it up, try to get a crease here. Again, we've got a 3.5 foot split here, which will give us those creases. Once we do get to the pitch, let's assume we do get to the pitch, he does close, the end does close for dive. I want to talk about what we say the go-go call is. We got the ball at the perimeter. Strong safety has committed himself to quarterback. Now we get to the pitch. To the pitch back. Pitch back, we'll say a go-go call. And what that go-go call tells, what it does, it tells the flanker and also the tight end on his veer release to attack and get really aggressive with these secondary defenders. Up to that point, they're going to be waiting for that go-go call. If they don't get it, they're going to be waiting, trying to buy time. And once they get that go-go call, we're going to attack and block the secondary defenders. And this thing here, you can't emphasize it enough. We try to do it in practice, Our younger guys, they forget it once in a while. The receivers during games, they'll get on the running backs, give us a go-go call, we're not hearing it. And we want you to holler it loud. You get the ball, go-go, you keep on saying go-go until you can't say it anymore. But say it enough until you get to the clear. Now we turn on the jets. And next we'll look at some film on 42 veer, 43 veer versus the 3 technique, and also the 5. Here's 43 veer. We're running on the two-man side. We're twins left right here. What we're still going to do is double team the 3 technique. Right here's the 3 technique. And run back. Quarterback's going to make his read first person on or outside. The offensive tackle, right here's the person he's going to be reading. Running back's going to read that linebacker. He's going to do up. Linebacker shows up in the B gap. We're going to cut back in the A gap. You can see the quarterback making his read. And almost get to the pole. We're getting the flash of the numbers right here. But again, now we got a 1 technique on the backside center. Again, we're trying to switch him up to get a lot of movement off that thing. We tell those running backs, run the daylight. Right there's a crease. We want to get into pitch back, pivot, cross over. We want to be accelerating. You're dogging it, we're going to put someone else in the game, someone who's going to give us that effort we want. Right here, we're pro right formation. Running against a 3 technique here again. Tackles on covered, read the first person on or outside. Here we read the person, the defensive end. On the tight end. Again, he's got to close a long ways. If he sits here, we're going to give the ball, just like this. Running back's going to run straight ahead. His first step was the inside step. We get right there. Inside elbow comes up. Get to the give read. And now we just bounce it all. You can see that linebacker, he's stepping the stack. Run the daylight. Again, 3, 4 yard, 5 yard play. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but to us, it's a hell of a play. Pivot and cross over and go. Again, with the tight end, the 1, 2, 3 rule. 1, 2, 3 is going to work with free safety. Kind of matchup we want to get right now. Here's 42 veer versus 5 technique right here. 5 techniques, the outside shade on the tackle. Now we're going to double that 1 technique right here. We're going to use the doodad technique or the veer technique. We're going to reach, rip through with that arm, get up to the linebacker. Quarterback's going to read that 5 technique. He flashes the numbers, we're going to pull the ball. You can see this technique here. Here's a good angle. We're going to step back at about 4 o'clock. Arrive at that left step, make his read. Get the full read. The tackle ends up closing for dive. Now we come out, an option for pitch. 1, 2, 3 rule for the tight end. 1, 2, 3. He's going to be released to the corner. Again, running back wants you to stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. Again, avoid getting tackled. Stay on your feet and go block somebody. Now the quarterback makes his read. The end's going to pitch. He's committed himself to the pitch back. Here's where the quarterback wants you to get in this alley here. Run out in this alley here. Pivot and cross over, pitch back, you got to get there. You got to turn on the wheels. You got to get there. Again, quarterback, I don't know if we're getting the go-go call. Once he gets in the crease, we can get that go-go call. That way we can be more aggressive with that tight end. Again, the tight end, he's going to be blocking for pitch. He's got to keep that relationship. Want him to secure the sideline so he doesn't know if the quarterback's going up the inside or we're going to get to the pitch. There's some reads for the tight end. If we know this guy's going to pitch, we can tell him during the game that he can attack this guy a little bit more because the quarterback's going to be carrying the ball. Now we got the quarterback one-on-one with the free safety here, and that's what we want to get to. Next, we'll continue on with our next triple option play we have in our offense. I alluded to it earlier when I was talking about veer, and it's called 44-45 zone. Again, we're working with the 40 series. We're going to hit the 4 or 5 hole. This time I'll draw to the red again, 44 zone. 44 zone. Hits at the butt of the tackle. Technique, as you'll see in our offense, before I get any further, this triangle with the quarterback and the 2 running backs will never change. We will break it once in a while with motion. But for alignment, we're going to keep things simple. With the offensive line, the receivers, the running backs in the backfield, we're not going to go with strong backs, weak backs, wishbone, eye backs, whatever. We're going to keep things simple. Our fullback's generally going to follow the tight end because we primarily get to the dive on the tight end side the past couple of years. And the faster back we'll put on the two-man side for the pitch. 44 zone. The reads for the quarterback. Talk about his technique in a second here. Reads for the quarterback again. The first person on, same as Veer, on or outside the offensive tackle. We're going to meet with these two backs at that inside hip of the tackle. Once we get to the exchange, we're going to be at that inside or right at the belly button of that tackle. With the quarterback technique for him now, we want him to use good technique with his footwork. Same with the offensive line, same with the running back. We're very particular with the footwork. We want the first step with the ride, a little jab step to the right, get him going in the right direction. We don't want to pivot on both feet. We push off, get some weight on the left foot, and we step to that right at the inside hip of the tackle. If we get this step out here, we're going to end up bending there. We want that step right at the inside hip. That's where we're going to aim. His next step, his left step's going to be right there. His third step's going to settle down at that inside hip. And that's where we're going to make our read, a short little ride step with the left foot. As you're going down the line of scrimmage, we want that quarterback to hold that football at his third hand position. By third hand position, what I mean is cradle it inside here. Don't carry it outside. If you carry it out here, chances are maybe an elbow of a lineman or one of the defensive tackle, defensive lineman will come in and slap the ball off and the ball's on the ground. That's one thing you gotta avoid at any level is keeping the ball off the ground. Now we get at this point right here. The read for the quarterback is this tackle. If he stretches, you give the ball. We're going to try to reach him. We're going to try to reach this person, as you've seen earlier from Coach Som. If he stretches, give the ball. If he stays, if he just sits here and plays heavy, you pull it, because we're going to get this guy reached. We're going to get him reached. If he slants, we're going to zone block it. We'll cut that slant step. And the tackle will continue up the backer, and that's also a pull read for the quarterback. Now let's assume he's stretching. If he stretches, we'll give the ball right here. Technique for the dive back again. We want his first step coming out of his stance with his inside foot. His stance, just talk about the stance and run backs whenever we're in the split back formation with this triangle. Their stance, we want their feet shoulder width apart. We want the weight equally on all three parts that are on the ground, his hand and his 2 feet. If you get too much weight on the hand, the only thing that's going to tell the defense is that you're going forward. If you get too much weight on the heels and you're leaning way back, chances are you're going to be a pitch back and you're getting ready to go either left or right. All right, so we want to get the weight in all 3 areas the same. If you get off that track, we're going to give the clues away. But we don't want to do that. I have to stress this about every day in practice. And be good at technique back here. Once you give a clue away from here to these guys, they've got the edge on you. Your first step is the inside step. Next is with the right. Again, a short inside step. If you get it too long, it's going to take you too long to get there. If you get too long, that first step is going to take you too long to get there, and your stride is going to be too long, and you won't be able to react once you get to the line of scrimmage. First step, short. Next, right. Once you get that right step here, your third step, your fourth step, that's where the exchange is going to take place. Again, same thing as before. Inside elbow up, get the exchange. We get a stretch. What we're going to do with that running back is read that block on this linebacker. That linebacker tries to come over the top of this block, and we'll cut behind him. If he sits right here in the B gap, then we'll try to break it outside right through here. assume he's slanted or sat here heavy. What we want to do with the running back, again, stay on your feet, try to bounce around things, and pick up the linebacker if he's freed up. Obviously, maybe the play side or backside. If both these guys happen to be knocked down, we've got these guys down. Now continue up to the free safety. Don't run by someone that's free. You block the first off colored jersey. Now we got the full read, quarterback, try to stay on line of scrimmage. Once you get here, don't belly back. It's going to cost you time. The pitchback's going to get out too far in front of you. It's going to put you in a bad pitch relationship with the defensive end. We want you in a good inside out, be able to attack his inside shoulder. This is where his shoulder's sitting here. We want you to attack that near shoulder right there. Make him commit to you. Once he's committed to you, now we can pitch that ball off to the pitchback. Again, the 1-2-3 rule for the tight end. Tackle's covered. 1-2-3. Block the strong safety. And we'll stock block the flanker, give him the go-go call. Versus a 3 technique, again, our read stays the same for both veer, for the quarterbacks and zone, but your technique is different. Read the first person on or outside the tackle. Now the pre-snap read for the running back tells you you've got a 3 technique in front of you, an outside shade on the guard. He's going to be a read man for the cut on zone. We're telling the quarterback, you read him again. He's got to close a long ways in here to commit himself to the dive. With the guard, we're going to take that zone step, take the edge off this end from firing in and blowing up the play. That step's very important. Now with this track here, with that 3 technique, we tell these running backs, want you to stay on track, but think about bending the back behind this 3 technique a little bit. We're going to try to reach this 3 technique, get stretch out of him, and depending on what technique we have on the backside here, we'll sometimes switch it and try to hit that crease right there. With this angle with the dive back coming, we should get some stretch out of linebacker. Now if he starts sitting in here, when we start doing these things, we'll just tell our quarterback just to pull the ball and we'll option this person. But that's getting into a little bit different play. But as long as he's stretching, we'll give the ball and we'll cut up right through here. Now, let's assume he closes, takes a dive, closes nice and hard, takes the edge off, comes around, takes a dive, quarterback's going to pull the ball, and come off option at next level. 1-2-3 rule for the tight end. 1, 1-2-3, we'll be released, block free safety. Quarterback's going to come out, and then option that strong safety, same as veer. Again, I drew up here, he gets belly back, don't want him to do that, ride step, and stay on the line of scrimmage. Avoid that belly. Pitch back, stay on that track, don't belly back. If you get the ball pitched to you, go, go, go. Same with the quarterback, if he decides to take a pitch, as soon as he makes his decision, and you carry the ball, you've got to have that go, go call. You've got to have it. Here we're going to look at 44, 45 zone on film versus a 5 technique. Again, there's a lot of important things on the play. One of the most important things if it's a dead play is this cut block right here by the center. We've got to get this guy cut down. We're going to try to reach this guy and get stretch right here. We're going to cut this guy, causing a natural crease right through here. If you don't get this cut block, if he gets over the top, we're going to have about a 1-yard play, 2-yard play right here. We've got to get the cut block. Here's 44 zone versus a 5 technique. We're going to reach. He's going to take maximum angle at the linebacker here. Cut the nose guard. He's taking maximum angle at the backside linebacker. And we're going to go in and try to inside release and block the full player right here. And here the quarterback's going to make his read. You can see him concentrating on his movement key. He's stretching. We give the ball. Running back, soft squeeze again. Find a natural crease again right here. The lineback's trying to get over the top, you cut behind him. And it's exactly what I just said. If we don't get the cut block right here, Nose guard makes a play, but this time it's for a 4-yard play. We almost get the cut, but hey, a 4-yard play, now we're 2nd and 6, that's not bad. We'll take that any day. 1, 2, 3 rule for the tight end. If we have one over here, obviously we know we're in a 3 wide out formation. So the wide out will just push and stock block the corner. 44 zone. Now we're gonna give you a pull read with the quarterback carrying the ball versus the 5 technique. As you can see, he's sitting heavy. He's sitting heavy. He's trying to play the inside. We're getting him reached up. That's a nice block. Now the quarterback's gonna pull the ball. Run back, stay on your feet, go block somebody. Stay on your feet. We can do a much better job than that. Pull the ball. Now we come out and option strong safety. Strong safety goes a pitch. Get this quarterback. Want to get you in that crease right here, right there. Not a bad play. On this play right here, the pitch back, you got to be on your horse. You got to be moving. I'm talking about 44-45 zone versus a 3 technique where we have an outside shade on our guard. We're going to try to reach this 3 technique right here. The backside, we're going to go with backer with the center. Now with the running back, as you can see, we're not going to try to stay on track and bounce it outside of 5 technique. We're going to try to come behind that 3 technique. So when you get to the 3rd step right there on your outside step, you're going to try to bend it back around that 3 technique right through there. Getting your feet up and over the trash, and that's one thing working drills. If you stick around and watch practice, you'll see some drills we do and trying to get over trash. Obviously, they must not be working, or otherwise we get over the trash. We have to think of some new drills. Quarterback, you read the first person on or outside the offensive tackle. We're going to zone step, take the edge off him in case he does try to fire in and blow up the mesh point. The zone step, go up to the backer. Quarterback's going to read the defensive end. He sits and takes quarterback, give the ball. Put the ball in the outside arm, protect the ball, get your feet over the trash. We've got to have more acceleration than that out of the pitch back. That won't get the job done for us. You got to be there each and every time. Again, that's a 3 technique cut. We'll look at one more quick one here. .45 zone versus 3 technique. 1, 2, 3 rule for the tight end. He's not covered. 1, 2, 3 is going to go to the free safety. Push and stock to the flanker. Dive back, inside elbow up. Read that 3 technique. Right there's the cut you need. Trying to fold it on the backside there. Get a little trash tackle. We got our feet up and over things. Still a 4 or 5 yard play isn't all that bad. Continuing on with the 40 series, now I want to talk about our 2-way option stuff off the 40 series. We talked about the triple option, now the 2-way option. First thing I want to talk about is the 44 and 45 load. Although it's a quarterback ISO play, we still want to run an option scheme off it, a 2-way option scheme off it in our things on offense. Again, the 4 and 5 tell us where we're going. Talk about going to the right, so it's a 4-hole, 44 load. It's looking awful like zone in the backfield because we're aiming at the same point with both people. But up front, we're blocking it different. We're going to double team down on the nose guard here. We're going to reach that tackle. Same thing we do on zone. And here, a little bit different. I didn't cover with the tight end before. We talked about tight ends, but all he's going to do is base block that end. What we do is take a little balance step with the inside foot, protect that inside gap. That way you get a little more punch and power, get some movement. And all we want to do is establish a line of scrimmage. Don't allow penetration here. Try to reach this guy. This guy sits inside, we'll get around outside of the quarterback. Pre-snap read for the quarterback tells us we have a person covering the tackle here. And let's just give him a 5 technique. 5 technique should tell us he's going to have that C gap or the outside gap, which means chances are that the play's going to break up inside in the B gap here. Okay, so right now he's thinking the ball's going to break up inside. If he's going to make everything look like zone, we want a lead step. With the right foot, 6-inch step at the aiming point, inside hip. Next step, again at the aiming point. Your third step, making your read, either deciding to go outside. We might still get these guys to reach. We still want him to read it on the run. We might get him reached, or he can take the ball outside, or cut up inside, following the running back on the low block on the linebacker. Or this running back, what we want him to do is key this linebacker right here. Obviously, there's going to be a hole open up. We're going to double team down right here, try to get movement, come up and combo off and get the backside linebacker. There's going to be a pretty good sized gap here, and the linebacker will be right in that running back's face, and it won't be very hard to find him at all. But a movement key for the running back is that 5 technique. If he slants outside, we're going to go through the B gap, come up, shoulder square, and block this linebacker. If the tackle slants on some type of return technique to the B gap, chances are that lineback's going to show up in the C gap, and there you'll be. You want to mirror that linebacker, go where he goes, and now use good technique, the load block technique. We go through it every day in practice. Come on out, practice. It's very similar to the 3-step reach technique the linemen use, except we don't reach. We want to try to get movement backwards on the person. The punch is the same. We want to get punch, get a dip in. Come on out to practice, watch it, and you'll see how we do it technique-wise on the field. When we get to this point right here, if he is stretching, quarterback will follow that running back and go up inside, shoulder square, and find a crease opposite where that linebacker is going. Linebacker's going to probably choose the side, want to get moved with the block by the running back, and go opposite where that linebacker is. The thing you got to watch out for, that backside linebacker for the quarterback. It's tough to get him. Either way, we have so much direction out of here. He'll come over the top, and most of the time make the tackle on the quarterback. If we do get to the secondary, it's usually the free safety. That is if we go up inside right here. Now let's assume we've got a head up or a 4-eye, an inside shade on a tackle. Chances are we'll probably break it outside here. Running back, you just follow the crease, follow your natural crease, mirror that linebacker, free snap, read, inside shade. We're thinking we're going to go outside, block that linebacker. You still got to read it. If he comes back outside, we go inside, block that linebacker. Now, if we do get this guy reached right here, this blocked by the tight end, that quarterback, that's what he keys. Want to get your eyes on this and try to feel this. We're getting things reached, and we can continue out. Now we work that 2-way option scheme with that pitchback. That pitchback's got to be on his horse, and if we do break things outside, he's got to be there, and he's got to be there right now. We can't wait. Push the stock to the flanker. Now we'll option that strong safety. 2-way option with the ISO scheme inside, and it's a good play for us with the veer scheme that we do now, double team on the nose. It'll help us out with both plays. What I want to draw up now is a 3 technique. Just show you basically what we work on with the 3 technique. Or the 40 side with the offensive tackle uncovered. What we're going to do is double team will take place now on the 3 technique. We're still going to base this person, try to get to the end reached. Running back's going to key this person, depending on what technique he's playing. If he's head up, chances are running back's going to go inside through the C gap, A gap, B gap, C gap, and block that linebacker. If he's inside shade, chances are this person's going to take this gap right here, the C gap. Then we got a call, with the tight end. You'll give a certain call. You'll tell this linebacker he's going to take him inside. Now we'll bounce around outside and block this linebacker right there. Quarterback going to read this block here. If for some reason it does go outside, we'll follow things up inside. If it does go outside, now we get to the outside, run the 2-way option scheme off the ISO. depending on what we got it back on side here. If it's a shade to one side, we'll get things switched up. If he's head up, we'll try to cut and get maximum angle and cut off block here. Next, we'll look at film on the load play versus the two techniques here.
Go on, Coach.
Here's 44, 45 load versus 5 technique. Again, we're going to try to reach this 5 right here, get moving on him, double team on the nose, running back. Right there's a crease with the B gap, happens naturally. Step and punch. Get the quarterback through in the crease right there. One more. Twins left formation, 44 load, and tight end's got a base, lost our base right there. Running back trying to get a movement key, this guy doesn't go inside, so he'll bounce outside. They got a scheme on us up here. Should have won inside. Quarterback cuts up inside. Here's 44 load, we're an unbalanced twin set right here. Versus a 3 technique, now we're going to double team down at 3. We're going to base up, defensive end, unbalanced twins of course. We've got our unbalanced tackle over here, so we got a bigger guy on a, hopefully a smaller guy, and we'll get a little bit more movement right here. Right here the quarterback sees this, we got this guy reached, running back bounces around, picks up the linebacker, and the quarterback then continues out opposite the strong safety who goes to pitch, and we get down the line, get down the alley and out to the perimeter, down the sideline. That's the way you want it drawn up right there. Continuing on with our two-way option series, with the 40 series, I'm going to move on to 46, 47 key. .46, 47 keep, hits over the 6 and 7 hole, drops to the right here first, 46 keep. The double team's going to take place on the 5 technique here. On keep now, it's an outside load play. It should be called 46 load. It's been called 47 keep or 46 keep here for 8-9 years. Don't want to change it, confuse our players, but it's obviously a load block here on the end with the running back. The running back's going to aim 1 yard outside the defensive end, or right out the outside cheek of the tight end, and block that defensive end. Once we get to this position here, we want to get our shoulder pad square and knock this guy and try to get him hooked and knock him backwards. Quarterbacks, we're thinking we're going to try to get the ball outside. If this end sees this coming and bounces upfield here, the running back's going to come, turn his pad, and knock him outwards, causing a natural crease right inside here for the quarterback. Quarterback's going to read this block right here. If one or the other happens to be sits here heavy, we should get him hooked the quarterback outside. If he bounces uphill here, bounces outside, quarterback should come up inside and get in the crease. As you can see, I'm going to draw it up to the other side versus a reduced defense here. Tight end side, it's going to take a little bit longer for the running back to get there. On this side here, the double team takes place on a 3 technique. We're going to crack that linebacker with the split end now, thinking that the tight end's going to try to get up the linebacker here, which is pretty difficult because we're going to secure this person first, make sure he's secured. All we have to do here is crack this linebacker. We're going to option him with the quarterback. Load block takes place right here. Again, aiming at the outside hip. Aiming points the outside hip of the tackle here, and getting this person hooked right here. It's going to look awfully like zone. Aiming points is going to be a little bit wider for the running backs. To either side, especially this side over here, definitely going to be a lot wider, but this side here, it's a lot tighter. When we run here, it hits so quick. This person usually closes with this down block, then bounces out. That we usually break contain right here with the quarterback. And now we come out and option this corner. Corner goes to pitch. we're right here, one-on-one with the free safety with the quarterback. This side, it's a little more difficult to get around the corner because we're one person wider. Again, we're going to option the person that has pitch, should slant, and go to the strong safety here. Quarterback is around the corner, we're going to option that corner right here. That's the basic 46-47 keep. It's better to the reduced side. Got to crack that linebacker. We did it once last year. First time we ran it, split in, forgot to crack the linebacker, but we still outran him on the foot race to the quarterback. If you have good athletes, they can make some plays for you. 46-47 keep. Again, we like to run it towards the reduced side. You'll see right here, we're going to double team down to the 3 technique. Here comes the low block right there. Not a bad punch. We need a better base. We're going to crack the linebacker, force him to go underneath. Want him to go underneath. Keep working. Again, we lost the base here. Pretty decent play by the linebacker. They're going to make plays too. Here's 47 keep on the reduced side. Again, we're getting the crack at the split end. And it hits quick here. Boom. We want that running back right now. Get on the outside number. Get the quarterback outside in the crease. Now he gives a go-go call. Pitch back. You got to have the wheels. Be there for the pitch relationship if you do kick the ball out right here. Quarterback in the crease. Lock on. Go-go call. That's what we like to have. Getting in the crease. One-on-one with the free. Next, we want to continue on our 40 series with just a simple dive play. We want the triple option, two-way option with the 40 series, now just a single dive play. Where the quarterback doesn't need to make a read, he's the one that's got to secure the handoff now, allowing the running back to make his read on the cut. First one I want to talk about is 44-45 scoop. Scoop tells us what blocking scheme we're using up front with the line. In the backfield here, we want to make it look as much like zone as possible. Scoop's a predetermined dive play. The cutback, reading that nose guard, as Coach Hager said earlier. For the quarterback, we want to make it look like zone as much as possible, but because we're going to try to cut back, we got a chance to cut back behind the nose guard to either side and go 45 scoop or 44 scoop. The quarterback's got to get off the line a little bit to allow this cut here. He's got to get off the line a little bit. Don't bring him back a long ways. If you bring him back a long ways, you're going to give it away to cut back all the way. You want him pretty much just comes down the line of scrimmage, and as you come down the line of scrimmage, you step back a little bit. You just step back and you hand the ball off, and you pull that backside foot with you, and allow that running back to cut back behind the nose guard. It's the quarterback's job to secure the handoff. The running back's going to make that key on the nose guard. He doesn't have a chance to look at the ball, to make sure he's getting the ball. He's reading things in front of him. But for the quarterback, we want to use the same technique on zone, open with a 6-inch step, step left, meet that running back at the inside hip track of the tackle. Once the running back, his technique, inside stepping up the first step, and on that second step, you can start bending it back a little bit. And I'll read that movement on the nose guard. As we try to stay high and reach him, he might stretch. If he slants to our play side here, we'll try to cut behind him with the running back. This is the movement key right here. If that nose guard slants the other way, chances are they'll have a slant on with the other tackle. If they don't, that's fine. We should get the cut straight ahead right there. Should get the cut straight ahead right there. If he does slant this way, we'll switch things up with the center and the guard and get this crease going right here. And off that linebacker, if he's sitting, you can run some option plays with this type of track and pitch on the edge and hold that linebacker in there. Again, you can't emphasize it enough. On a pitch back, no matter what you do, you've got to make it look like we're running two-way, three-way option all the way. You just might pull a free safety out of middle field. If we do break up the middle, free safety's gone, and then it's a foot race. Versus an uncovered tackle or 40 front, uncovered center also, where the center's uncovered. We tell the running backs it's automatic cutback behind the 3 technique, but you got to read this 2-eye or field pressure on the backside. If you're getting pressure over the top, coach on, talk about it, we'll wall this guy off, and then cut behind the nose guard. But versus when the center's uncovered, we're thinking automatic cutback. The other dive play we have out of the 40 series is 46-47 dive. .47 dive, doesn't matter what formation we're running out of, but what we want out of the formation is a double team on that tackle, try to combo up off of it with the tight end and block the linebacker. 6-hole over the butt of the tight end tells us we're going to meet at that hole right there. Aiming point is the inside hip of the tight end for both the quarterback and the running back. We want to use the same technique as zone from down line of scrimmage, then we're taking it 1 step wider than the inside hip to the outside hip of the tight end. That's the aiming point. What we're thinking on this play is that this end's playing soft, he's trying to contain us. We've been running keep over here. He's been bouncing outside, trying to make the quarterback cut up inside. Now we're going to come down the line of scrimmage and just hand the ball off to the running back. Again, it's the quarterback's job to secure the handoff. The running back is going to feel this pressure here. If this ends, say for some reason the end decides to sit here this time, that running back, he's just going to try to find a crease. If it's got to be back behind the double team on the tackle, he'll take it then. That is at the end sitting. But we emphasize the running backs, you got to do it more. Stay on track. Have confidence that this guy's going to float off. Have confidence it's going to float off. Especially it's going to happen to this side where they don't have a flat player, and the end's got to be the flat player or the pitch player. Versus this side, you'll play maybe a little bit heavier because you have the flat player with the strong safety, and it might bend back behind the tackle here. Again, you want to use the same footwork. First step with the inside foot, short step at the inside hip of the tackle here. Now we continue a straight line, get the handoff, you run the daylight. You run the daylight. Backside back, run that pitch route. You got to be there. Again, make it look like we're going to run 2 3-way option. But it's strictly a dive play for us, 46 dive. Versus the 3 technique, or the 40 look with the offensive tackle uncovered. Depending on what technique you're going to play, we'll do a number of schemes here. We'll reach and come off if he's wide. But everything's pretty much stays the same, but the double team will take place right here. And with the tight end, like I said, depending on what technique he's playing, we'll reach and come off. If he's playing inside shade, once in a while we might just double team this guy and get some movement out of him. The double team will take place outside here with the line. We'll man up this here with the reach with the guard. That's if he's giving us trouble. But everything else will stay the same. You read, feel, and run the daylight. This is a strict dive play. This is right ahead, and we want to keep things simple and try to get some yards. Good, hard power play. Here we got 44 scoop versus the 5 technique with the center covered. Job of the running back to read this nose guard. If he's stretching, we'll cut back behind him right here. Quarterback, again, we want to, here's a 6-inch step right there. You're going to come off the line of scrimmage a little bit, give that running back a chance to cut back behind the nose guard. If you get too tight on the line of scrimmage, the running back's going to run right into you, and you're going to have a chance to fumble the ball. It's going to be a collision. It's going to be a dead play. Pitch back, this looks like a good hustle here. Pivot, crossover, staying low, keep the nose over the toe, run a nice straight line, then build the arc out right here. What you want to get. Inside elbow up. There's a crease. This is what we're looking at. This is backside right here, technique by a tight end. It's not all that bad. It talked about it earlier. He's got to get it inside position on a defensive end. and wall him up, working your butt to the hole. Work your butt to the hole. Don't allow him to close on the flight. Once the running back gets the ball, we want him to get north and south. North and south. Next, we want to continue on to our lead option series, the 50 series and the 30 series. First, I want to talk about the 50 series, 58, 59 option. It's the lead option series, the backfield with the counteraction with the quarterback. Technique by the quarterback, want him to step back to the left foot, take a little drop step to the left foot. You've got to get a little distance with this because we're pulling a backside guard. If he doesn't get any little distance backwards with it, he stays on the line of scrimmage, that backside guard's got a chance to knock the quarterback over or do something dangerous, and knock the ball out of the quarterback's hands, or trip the quarterback, some type of thing like that. If it's a quarterback's fault, something like that happens. He's got to get some distance. Give some room for that pulling guard to get through. You want to step back on the left foot, get on his toes, then pivot. So you step back on your left, and pivot on that foot. Pivot on the foot. At the end of your pivot, you want to be facing that way, right there. You don't want to be facing this way. You want to face right down, uphill, at that inside shoulder of the defensive end. If you end up facing this way after your pivot, chances are you're going to end up rounding it. It's take you too much time to get down to an option in the end. You can have a chance to slow play you a little bit longer. But we're talking about 58 option right here, 58 option. Well, the double team taking place right here on the tackle. Again, try to combo up to the backer with the tight end. The thing we get successful at this and getting the backer is with the counter move by our two backs here. They take a little 6-inch jab step with the opposite foot of the way we're going. We're going 58 option here. They're going to take a little jab step, open up that left foot, push out the right, and take a little jab step, point your toe, act like we're going to be going this way, then pivot back around, cross over, and continue on the 58 option series. Now the quarterback comes downhill. We want him to option the inside, to attack the inside shoulder of the defensive end. By doing this, you'll force him to take you. If he does go to pitch, quarterback should be carrying the ball. It's a two-way option. The first back, his responsibility is to block a flat player. Okay? Chances are, in this coverage right here, the flat player, we don't have one. I can draw one up here to see the cover 2 look. The corner, his responsibility is to block the corner here. The flanker is going to slam and go to the strong safety. Lead back is going to block the corner. The second back, you got to run in that same set of footprints. If it's snowing out here, you want that same set of footprints right here. If you get out of the set of footprints of this person as you're going through here, he can juke us a little bit to come up and make a tackle on us. We're watching the same set of tracks. Also, both these guys, you want them running full speed. You got to have some speed on this play. If you don't have that speed to get outside, pursuit will get to us. The other thing you want to do is don't allow a lot of distance. If that first back's here and you're here and we pitch the ball here, he throws a block. Now the corner gets up or gets around or gets off, he can still make the play. You want to keep that same relationship about 3 yards apart. If that corner decides to jump out of the way as we come out the block, pitch the ball, stay in the same set of tracks, and we'll just run right through. Again, by the quarterback, a whirly bird. We call it a whirly bird. Counter step, pivot, and attack the inside shoulder of the defensive end. When he commits to you, take the ball on. The thing you want to understand as a quarterback, when you see the defensive end's numbers flash at you, that means he's committed himself to you. Whenever you see the numbers flash, especially backside number flash to you. I want you to kick the ball off. If he kicks it off, when you're right here, you should be able to, we should be in good shape when he commits himself. Now, if he doesn't flash, keep those shoulders parallel, you've got to keep attacking. But once you get in a position where you feel he's committing himself to you, now you can kick the ball off. Going the opposite way, assume we're running the two-man side now with 59 option. Double team will take place here. As you can see, it's going to hit a lot tighter. We don't have the tight end here. Quarterback's going to whirly bird on the right step this time, step, whirly bird, then come down uphill, attack the inside shoulder of the defensive end. Now we got the jab set going the other way. Now we cross over and come over here. First back's going to be responsible to block the flat player. Now we need someone to block that linebacker, so we crack him with our split end. We don't have the tight end to combo off and get the backer. Quarterback attacks the end, gets the ball kicked off, first back. Want both these guys same set of tracks. We'll run right there. Once you catch the ball, once the second back catches the ball, you got to get the go-go call. Let these guys in front of you know you're coming. Let them get after folks. 58-59 option. 58-59 option on film. We're going left 59 option. We're going to double team on the 5 technique. Here's the technique in backfield. We're going to pivot the opposite way, jab set the opposite way, flash the helmet, get these linebackers to hold in here a little bit. Hopefully we can combo up with the tight end and pick off one of the linebackers. Here's the technique by the quarterback. I want you to step, pivot on the right. He's rounding a little bit too much. He's going to get around a little bit more. It's not that bad. But now here's the end. We can option him. He's flashing numbers right there. He's flashing numbers. Now we can settle down and kick the ball off. If we kick the ball out here, we've got a lead back here to block the corner. And second back here carrying the ball. We've got a third of the field to work with here, which isn't bad odds. Be something we've got to work on. Tight right formation, 59 option. Double team the 5 technique. Here's the counter step in the backfield. Quarterback whirly birds. Step to the right, spins on the toe. Again, here's the pulling guard. If you don't get some distance backwards, either he's going to run into you. The play's going to probably be a dead play. It's a good job by option quarterback. Getting pretty close to the line of scrimmage. He's got to make up to the sideline. He's got to make up his mind whether to keep it or to pitch it. Option football, two-way option, lead option in the backfield. Here's 58 option. Finally get to the pitch with the quarterback. This is a good job here. We're getting distance backwards, get the pulling guard around. Now we want him to come inside here, attack this person's inside shoulder, get him to commit himself. He's actually settled down. He's committed. Now we kick the ball out, and we get going. Let's see what the counter step does to the linebackers here. See if we pick one up. Good job by the linebacker. You don't get the tight end up to the linebacker. Gets over the top. Once this happens, we got to make some plays. Next, I want to continue on the lead option series. 30 series, just got done talking about the 50 series. 30 series is basically the same thing up front, blocking scheme. If we're going to tight end side, we're going to try to combo off, get the backer. We're going to come to the split end side, we're going to crack the backer. In the backfield, responsibility stays the same, but your technique changes. Same with the quarterback. The quarterback now, he's going to step back at 6 o'clock with his left step, straight back with his left step. The second step, we want him to gather a little bit, just to rock on it. So you step back, now you rock on your next step, and we're going 38 option here. We're going to attack the inside shoulder of the defensive end. So you got his first step straight back, not very long, maybe a foot or two, straight back. Then gather with your right, rock on your right a little bit, and then push off the right and come down. He'll attack the inside shoulder of the defensive end. By attacking that shoulder defensive end, you get him committing himself to you. If he doesn't, then you carry the ball. Same thing we just did on 58, 59 option. Lead back, all this is a strict sprint lead option for us. We're going to get outside as fast as possible. You're going to pivot on the right foot, cross over left, just like you're both pitch backs. And then build that arc. You're responsible to block the flat player. The second back, stay in that same set of tracks. If you do get the ball kicked out, we get the block here. Once the block takes place, we get movement, and we're fine. If there's a pile here, now we can get outside. All right. For the same, both backs, the same action, going to the right. 38 option. Pivot on the right, cross over left. We both want you to run in a straight line, both in the same set of tracks, and keeping the same distance. Don't be slow on the backside. You both got to be sprinting. Go on the other side. Again, it's going to hit a lot quicker for the quarterback. Step back to the right. Rocker on the left. Again, you're not on the tight end side. You only have two people here. Double team down. It's going to happen quick. First back, you're responsible for blocking flat player. Second back, catch a ball, go call, secure it, put the ball in the outside arm, and go make some plays. Again, you got the crack here. And that's the lead option series, 38, 39 option, sprint series, 58, 59 is our counter series with lead option mechanics. The last series I want to talk about is our 20 series. 20 series is a counter series with a quarterback with the dive and option phase. The thing I want to talk about is 22 dive first. 22 or 23 dive. With the quarterback, what we want out of this, talk about 22 dive. We're going to have some weight on our right foot, on our mechanics, on our pivot here. Spin around on our left foot, get some depth. Spin around on the left foot, get some depth. Pull that right foot back around so you end up being right behind the center. And it's the counter look right here. Push off the right, step to the left, so we're end up facing this way right here. It's a strictly dive play again with the counter action. Rules for this, for the running back, the dive back, is he's going to keep his nose guard. The nose guard comes towards him, he's going to cut opposite of what the nose guard does. Technique we want him to use is his first step is you come out of your stance, it's a 6-inch step to the left. We want you to get to the left a little bit because we got to get over here and get that mesh with the quarterback. Go straight ahead, you're going to have a little gap between us. Little 6-inch step to the left with the running back. And go straight ahead, reading that nose guard. Reading that nose guard. Nose guard comes towards you, cut back behind him. Nose guard goes away, and it should be a track dive. Track dive. Once this handoff is secured, it's the quarterback's job to get it secured. Again, you need the depth. If you don't get this depth, you got to get that ability. You got to get the ability for the running back to make this cut behind the nose guard. If you don't get the depth, and you just sit and spin right here, and the nose guard comes down right here, there's not much to get through right here. You got to get depth with all this cut right here by the running back. And once you hand the ball off and all that's secured by the quarterback, accelerate down the line of scrimmage, act like you have it, and act like we're running a two-way option out here. Pitch back, what we want out of this, all we want him to do is get some movement, get some flow out of this linebacker. Just pivot and cross over and run the pitch route. Pivot and cross over and run the pitch route. The big thing on this play for the quarterback is to get that depth. Counter, and get depth, and hand the ball off. Secure the handoff. He's going to make the read, you secure the handoff. play, we'll run a 22-23 option series off it. Everything stays the same right here mechanic-wise, except now we tell the quarterback to pull the ball, and it's two-way option, two-way option. Again, staying on the line of scrimmage, don't belly back around behind the dive back, everything stays the same right here. Put the ball in, act like you're going to give it. Once he clears, pull the ball, now we stay right down the line. Want to come down, attack the inside shoulder of the defensive end, be ready to pitch the ball. Again, and all this stuff when I talk about the quarterback, whether it be load, the 40 series, 30 series, or 50 series, the quarterback's got to be in control. If he gets out of control, if he's coming down the line of scrimmage too fast, if he's got long strides, it's tough to react. You want the feet of the quarterback to be underneath the quarterback. The feet are underneath the quarterback, and he's going as fast as he can. Now he can react to things in front of him. If the end tries to tackle him quick like, then he can pitch the ball off. If he's got those long strides, and if the end attacks him, chances are there's going to be problems in the pitch area. But he's got to be in control. Don't be in such a hurry to get down the line of scrimmage. Let things develop in front of you. If you get in too much of a hurry, things aren't going to be developed. They're going to be muddy. You're going to be confused as a quarterback. You got to be settled down. You're the guy that's got to make the things happen. Slow down. If your quarterback's getting too much of a hurry, you got to tell him to slow down. Let things develop. Let things develop. Now after this, the fake, come down the line of scrimmage, attack the inside shoulder. When he commits himself to you, now we pitch the ball. 1, 2, 3 rule for the tight end. He'll block the strong safety. And this is what will complement our dive series. The last series we want to talk about, Coach Hager talked about the counter series. We just put it in to help our defense out with it a little bit. It hurt us in a game last year. It's hurt us in the past couple of years, so we wanted to get a little bit more look at it in the spring ball. We put it in to help out the defense, and we like a little bit. It helps us out. It gives us a little bit of misdirection. We don't have it all fine-tuned yet to where we can really talk about it, have it sold. Our 40 series is still the base. We're going to run the zone. We're going to run the veer. We're going to run load. We're going to run keep. This here just gives us a little bit of misdirection. It's going to help us out backside a little bit. Again, we've got to fine-tuning it. Yep, I'll just talk about it a little bit on the board here. We like to run it back toward the tight end side. I think he could run it back towards the two-man side. But this is how we would block it. We would double team down on this person here. Let's assume we're running 23 counter at 6. 23 counter at 6. We're going to run it back towards the 6 hole here. We're going to reverse out with the quarterback, same thing. The 23 dive, make it look like 23 dive over here. Actually try maybe get a fake in, I don't know if you can. Then you'll step back and hand the ball off to the back that's going to be carrying the ball, the counterback. The counterback pivots on his left, crosses over the right, then clanks. The next foot is outside foot, comes back around and gets the ball back from the quarterback. And of course we're pulling the guard to kick out the end. Got the tackle, pick up the back or the strong safety, wherever it may be. And now we'll hand the ball off to the running back, and he'll try to find this crease right here. After we get some type of fake, I don't know if you will, for us in spring, we didn't get much of a fake. Something we need to work on a little bit more. I don't know if it will work. He's got to replace the person over the guard, or excuse me, over the tackle. He'll block the first person on or outside the tackle to replace this person here. That's his responsibility. Other than that, we just put it in to use to help our defense out. Something you might see, might not. I don't know. We will try to fine tune it during two-a-days here. Getting into a passing game, when we talk passing, it's usually play-action passing or attack. This spring we went out, talked to some Division I coaches, and we wanted to expand our third and long play passing game. They said the only way you're gonna help out your third and long passing game is to avoid third and long. They didn't have any magical, there's nothing magical about third and long passing game. You've got to stay out of those situations. They said they don't have any routes, no magical things that you can do. You've got to stay out of those situations. But I want to talk about our play action game. It's something that really helps us out, receivers especially with their stocking game. Our quarterbacks like to throw our play action game. We don't call it a lot. We call it play action 10 times a game. That's a lot. We don't believe in throwing the ball a whole lot, but when we throw the ball, we want it completed. We don't talk about pass percentage completions. We want high pass efficiency. We want good routes run. We want at least 60-some% passes completed. If we get that, we feel we're in pretty good shape in a ball game. We're not going to throw the ball a lot, but we want to complete those things when the ball is in the air. The most basic thing we do is a 96, 97 action package we have. We call it usually the 796 or 797. We like to throw it out of the twins formation, giving us two receivers to throw the ball to. You got the split end on the line of scrimmage, a flanker off. The 96, 97 action is this in the backfield. Coach Rogers will talk about it with the receivers later on in the passing game here. Right now I'm just going to talk about the quarterback, his reads, and the two running backs. Let's assume we're going twins right, 796. Obviously we're going to have a tight end here for the 6 hole, but we want to get the ball outside. What we want to do with the first back, the lead back, his responsibility is the end man on the line of scrimmage. The end man on the line of scrimmage, whether it be out here, I've got him drawn here, but he could be out here. That's his responsibility. We're going to play side cut, all this stuff. Coach Sam will cover that coming up here. So what we're going to do, he's responsible for end man line of scrimmage. This guy's going to get a piece of him. We want to finish him off. The running back's got to finish him off. We don't want anybody in the way of the quarterback when he's ready to throw the ball. Our running backs kind of like this one, the lead back. We kind of like this block because we usually get a piece of him on the cut with a line, and all of a sudden here comes the running back, and it's a load block, and we just ear hole it. He sees him coming, but he's got his hands on. There's nothing he can do about it. And next thing you know, the running back's helmet's through the other side of the ear hole on the defensive end. After that, if the running back's still on his feet, we'd like to come out here and just secure things for the quarterback. He can be downfield. With the quarterback, we want to make it like the 40 series. Just like it's 46 keep, 44 zone, right down the line of scrimmage. As you're coming down the line of scrimmage, we want you to keep the ball low like it's going to be a run. Get your throwing grip. When you make your read, then pop it up and throw the ball. But everything's the same, just like 44 zone, lead step. Your read will be that strong safety. If he sits in here and takes the split end away, we're going to throw the ball out here to the flanker. He's running 9 back to 7-yard stop. The flanker's going to take a stock and try to get the crease right here. Very similar to tight end dump pass. Again, you're going to see it's only going to be a 10-yard pass for the quarterback, maybe a 15-yard pass out here because we're down the line of scrimmage and we're only 10 yards downfield. It's very short, it's high pass completion percentage pass. You've got an olive that's throwing safety sits in here. All has the olive with the flanker. Now, if they're in some kind of man coverage where they got underneath man, he's sitting there and he's sitting here. Coach Hager talked about it. We can come out here and run our option phase then. With that pitch back, the same thing. You pitch back mechanics, pivot crossover, you gotta be on your horse. So the quarterback sees trouble, he's just gonna kick the ball out to you here. And now we're gonna be running because obviously they're both covered. They don't have a pitch player. And we'll option the first person that comes around the horn, what probably will be that linebacker. 796. It's really a triple option play with 2 of them being a pass and the last thing being the pitch to the running back. I want to talk about our 2 and 3 hole play action pass package, or our pass protection package, the 2 hole and 3 hole protection. First with the 42 and 43 action right here, I got drawn up. Again, 40 series, it's going to tell us we're going to have a dive fake with the running back. I'm going to draw up, I got pro right here, I'm going to draw up 142 drag, 42 action right here. We're just going to go straight forward, and we got B-gap protection, B-gap protection. Easy to go forward, quarterback come over here and fake, just like on the inside veer, step. He's going to drop back, 5 steps, 5-step drop, which should put him about 7 yards deep. Once after the fake here, running back, he's going to look to block the linebacker. If the linebacker drops off, we're going to release him. About 3 yards downfield, try to find somewhere in between the 2 linebackers. Try to find a crease where the quarterback can see you, wherever it may be. The second back, 42 or 43 action, pro right. We're going to put the tight end up on the route, on the one pattern of the drag, and try to hit something back here, reading the weak side flat flare. Because the tight end's leaving, we need this backside back here. He can't be dogging it. If he's dogging it and this guy's on some type of stunt, quarterback's going to be sacked. He's going to cross over a pivot and come nice and tight and sit right on the outside hip of our tackle. This is the tackle. We come over here and tell him to sit and put your hand right on that tackle. All right? Now you're ready in a good position here to block this defensive end. When he decides to rush, you've got him on a good inside-out position. Take his momentum as he rushes and take him outside, making it a cuff protection. Cuff protection. If you come over here and you get too wide, he's going to have a straight inside shot to beat you inside and sack the quarterback. The read for the quarterback, like I said, the first thing he's got to check out is that weak side linebacker. Is he dropping for the curl, or is he going to take the drag? The tight end's got to feel this flat flare here. If he's coming up here or getting too wide, we want him to throttle down in here. Throttle down. If there is no flat flare, just keep running. They've got 2 rush ends. That's a good route versus something like that. Our 12 and 13 action is different for the quarterback. It's our half sprint out series. Series, but it's still 2-hole and 3-hole protection, same as 42 and 43. So for pro right, going 112, drag again, quarterback this time, we're going to set him up. We draw a line somewhere behind our offensive tackle. The 2-hole and 3-hole action, or 12 and 13 action, tells us we're aiming at the 2-hole, setting the block the linebacker disappears, now we release, and set up about 3 yards deep. Again, whether it might be a 4 pattern with the tight end, and he's releasing here, the second back's got to hustle across and block this end. Technique by the quarterback, what we have him do is push off to the left, almost look like it's dropped back here first, and then we move the cuff over here and we set right here. Make it look like sprint off, but we're going to set off and throw back here if we got some type of throwback in or whatever it may be. He's going to drop back. It's almost like a 7-step roll-out scheme. And set up right here, get his read, and throw the ball. Along with our 2-hole and 3-hole protection, we've got our 20 action. The 20 action, again, is a counter series. 322, 323 are 3 patterns of basic 3 deep route. 322 and 323, we call away from the twins side, twins right, 323. Technique for the people in the backfield here. 23 tells us this is like 23 dive or 23 option on this side. Okay, twins right, 323. Quarterback's gonna counter out and get a dive fake with the running back here. After the dive fake, 5-step drop, straight back. Avoid drifting to this side, even in the 40 series, the 42 series, the 12 series, whatever it may be. Avoid drifting back to the back side. If we're sprinting out over here, avoid drifting back here because we're blocking people back this way. Same way over here now. 20 action, we're setting up here, and we're going to block people back this way for us. So avoid drifting over to the opposite side where you're dropping to. Set up strong and stay there. Sit down. Now just like a 23 dive here, everything's the same. Now we set for B-cap protection. The back comes, block him. If he doesn't, now we release. Basic 3D draw. And of course, tight ends leaving again, gotta have that backside back, hustle over, and set up, block everything inside out, cut protect. And that's our 23, 20, 22, 23 action with the backfield. Through the passing game, I haven't really gotten into the great detail of it. It's not high priority in our offense, it's somewhat priority. I showed you the 96, 97 action, and we can do that both ways and run a couple different routes off it. I showed you the 42, 43 action, you can do that again, both ways, and run a couple different routes off it. But it's basically the same protection in the backfield with the running backs. A couple different reads for the quarterbacks, the running backs are going to stay the same. We're not going to try to get these guys confused, much less when the coaches are also confused. What I want to talk about next is our 18-19 series or the sprint out series. Okay, we're going to try to keep things simple. The old KISS theory. Sprint out series, we're going to try to break contain with the quarterback. We've talked about it a couple times last year. We want a drop step type thing without reversing out with the quarterback on the sprint out. 2 years ago, or from 80 to 86 or so, they've all reversed out and then continued out. Last year we want just a little drop step without reversing and then sprint it out. We've talked about changing it back to the reverse out. It's something we've got to work on a little more, but I'll just explain what we did last year with it. And what we did, just like the 12 and 13 action, take a little open up, a little drop with the left foot, open up the right, get some depth, straight back, and then try to break contain, throwing hard, running on the sprint, getting going. If the quarterback comes out at an angle, you're not going to have this running back a chance to get across. The quarterback's got to be a little hesitant at first. He's got to have a little patience. Let these guys get out in front of him. If you're an eye back, it's a little bit easier because we line up in split backs. The quarterback's got to understand what he has to do a little bit more and slow down here. We're looking for a maximum of 6 to 7 yards deep here. 6 to 7 yards. Ideally, we like them at 6. Ideally, we like them at 6. If you got a right-handed quarterback and you're rolling out to the right, 6 yards is fine. If you got a right-handed quarterback running out to the left, you like to get them a little bit deeper because it's a little bit harder to get the shoulders turned. It's a little bit harder to get the shoulders turned. If you come out flat here, it's hard to get things turned when you got to throw the ball back into a seam here. Okay, so try to get a little more depth when you go out to the left. For the lead back, his responsibility is to block the end man in the line of scrimmage. The end man in the line of scrimmage. It's very similar to what the responsibilities are with the 96, 97 action. But with the sprint out, we want him to get build the arc a little bit on it. If we run straight at him and we show a sprint out, this guy is going to get upfield and it's hard to contain him. It's hard to contain him. What we kind of want to do is mirror him a little bit and get a little width on him. Trying to keep your shoulder pads kind of square anticipating that he might try to come inside you. If he comes inside you, and quarterback's back here, it looks dangerous, but we haven't had a problem with it yet. His job is to contain the quarterback, not to try to get inside. Okay? So he's going to mirror him and block him and try to get him hooked. We tell this back, you can have help from the backside back, but to have the play be successful, if the pass isn't there, we want this back to be out here escorting for the quarterback. Escorting for the quarterback. The other thing we tell our quarterbacks is it's a run-pass option. Like I said, we don't throw the ball that much, so what happens, we call 18-19 series, and all of a sudden it's a pass. So obviously, like most quarterbacks do, they throw the ball instead of trying to run it. The first back is responsible for the end man in line of scrimmage. You've got him one-on-one, but if you're having trouble, the second back's going to help you out because we want to break contain. Okay? For the second back, if you help out with this guy here, if you're having trouble, that's fine. But the rules are for him is to look for the next person wider, such as a secondary stunt coming into our face. You got to pick up him because he's most dangerous. If this person's dropping off in the coverage, second back is coming, looking for some type of linebacker scraping over the top. So you look for a secondary stunt to scrape the linebacker. If neither of those come, then we escort. For the quarterback, we like to get him out here, break contain, and not try to throw the ball on the run if he's open. Try to emphasize it's run pass, run pass. If the guy looks open, the quarterback usually throws it. We've had trouble with this in the past. I don't know how much we'll do with it in the future. But with the 12 and 13 action, break and contain will help us a little bit more by setting up here once in a while, making these guys come hard once in a while. So those two will complement each other. Other than that, with the running backs and the quarterbacks, that's what we have in our passing game as pass protection and the actions we use with the quarterbacks.
Pass protection at NDSU, we try to keep things simple, again staying with our philosophy. We have three basic pass protection schemes, and you're going to see that they're either an area protection scheme or a combination of man and area. Following Coach Hammer's footsteps, I'll stay with the same sequence that he had. Looking at the 96-97 action, our assignment with 96-97 is reach cut, and it's an area type protection. Everyone's going to take a lead step, play side, 6-inch step, again protecting the gap toward the play side, and we're looking to throw a cut block. We're trying to throw the cut block in the following manner. We're going to get that good lead step down. We're going to cock the arm as we take that lead step. As we deliver the blow with our forearm, we're stepping down on the ground, so we've got both feet down firmly on the ground for power. We're aiming for the play side leg of that down defender, and we're ripping through with the backside arm. Our theory on that is that if that man is flowing hard down the line of scrimmage, we're still going to get a piece of him. Even if we miss that play side leg, we should catch the backside leg. Covered men are going to assume the cut is there automatically. The uncovered man may or may not get the cut depending upon the type of front we see. If they're giving us a slant, look to the foot. If the foot comes, throw the cut on it. If the foot doesn't come and your play side, keep working toward the play side direction, keeping your pad level low because we want to fool the secondary and the linebackers into thinking a run action with this type of look up front. If no one is in your area as you work play side, you have the flexibility of checking backside in case we've had some type of breakdown or possibly getting real good coverage out of the defense, so that pass takes a little bit more time to get off. Uncovered man also needs to be aware that from time to time they may go on some type of return. If he's coming from a shade and returning back, the play side person who's throwing the cut is just going to post up on the ground. In this situation, we'll just dump that man over the top, use that covered man as a trip stand and just trip him over the top, and again keep working play side. Be aware that we can't get more than 3 yards downfield on that situation. don't draw the penalty for an eligible receiver. Backside again, it's especially important to double check to the backside away from the play if no action is coming your way. Uncovered man, we need to be aware of linebacker plug. Generally that's set up by the scouting report. However, from time to time we're going to see that type of action. With our 2 and 3 hole action pass plays, we have tackle calls that are made called 8 and 1. What that tells our offensive line is that on the play side we have an 8 call, meaning we have man protection. On the back side we have a 1 call, which is an area protection. Some teams refer to it as turn back protection. Looking at a 42 action, for example, we know that a running back is going to be filling in this vicinity so that we have added protection in that area. Covered man, if you are covered, we give you the 8 call. That means you lock onto that man who's over the top of you. You have him wherever he goes. We want to be aggressive on that type of look because, again, it's a play action look, but be in control enough so that you can adjust to his movement. If the guard is uncovered, the guard is going to block down. If we were to see a 40 front, guard would lock on because he's covered. The tackle in this instance would block out. We know that that guard area is protected by the running back on the dive page, and we can vacate that area and give a little bit of extra protection to the outside with the tackle or to the inside with the guard. Now, looking at backside, 2 different schemes to remember, uncovered man scheme and covered man scheme. If you're covered, we want you to elbow off and turn to backside gap. And all that involves is taking a step into him, punching with the forearm, and then dropping that outside foot and setting up and protecting that area to your backside gap. Once you get in that area, the same principles with man protection will apply. We want to be in a good squat position, good flexion in the knees. The head is up. We want to lock the heels of the hands together so the thumbs are pointing up, elbows are locked out, and we're going to keep our feet chopping and keep that defender away from our body by extending our arms. We don't want to get in a position with that area protection where we're turning back into the play side of the scheme. If that man goes back door or goes around this way, we know that we've got help with the center. The guard's coming back to help out in this instance, and we shouldn't have to turn with him. Stay in your area. If he tries to cross your face away from the play call, because we have a 1 call, you need to lock on and run him by the quarterback. Always be aware of where the quarterback is setting up in our pass protection schemes. Continuing with the 1 call, uncovered man, we need to check for linebacker plug visually and turn back. Covered man again,